gelato right now, you know what I'm talking about?
It's Xavier, Jordan.
$12 blunt. I wanna be the richest nigga in the room. Got it out the mud, ain't had no silver spoon. The realest nigga in the room. Got it off the block, I came a long way from a goon. The richest nigga in the room. The realest nigga in the room. My shit. The realest nigga in the room. The richest nigga in the room. My nigga in the room before I knew where I was at. We were catching Noble, I was on the block chasing stacks. I was in the schoolhouse, had that scrap in my backpack. Teacher get on the nigga ass, fuck it, I'm skipping class. Ayy, back to the block, I'm back to the hood, it's back to the bacon, nigga. Back to the bacon. Now I ain't playing, I ride with the K, and it's out safety, nigga. The richest nigga in the room without a bank account. The realest nigga when I move, XL battery. I ain't gotta shout, ain't gotta make no noise. I just make one phone call and hit up my boy. You know yo come through in there 2-seat. He got Vino with him, that boy got 2 hits. I just hit Lil Savage up, he blowing reefer. City got a new plug and he cheap. This Sosa just shot me a test, got what I wanted. Told him pull up, I got cash, don't do no front. I wanna be the richest nigga in the room. Got it out the mud, ain't had no silver spoon. The realest nigga in the room. Got it off the block, I came a long way from a goon. The richest nigga in the room. The realest nigga in the room. My shit. The realest nigga in the room. The richest nigga in the room. My move. The realest nigga in the room and I ain't gotta lie. Nigga crawl a can, he gotta die. Put that on Mom Deuce, you know that I'm talking. Shout out to that Deuce, my little nigga bloody. Still in the mound with some folks, nigga. In my crib, niggas cut throat, nigga. You know what the bid, come and get a boat. I got gas, I got Reggie, I got blow. In the summertime, I'm still serving snow. DJ for the high, I don't do the low. Can with the move if it make a profit. That boy coming brown, so we call it Bobby. Steak props, ABM, but the team's the rock. I'm like Shaq to the youngins, I still get the blocks. All these bitches jockin', whole team fly like choppers. And we came with choppers, these big necks just like whoppers. I wanna be the richest nigga in the room. Got it out the mud, ain't had no silver spoon. The realest nigga in the room. Got it off the block, I came a long way from a goon. The richest nigga in the room. The realest nigga in the room. My shit. The realest nigga in the room. The richest nigga in the room. My move. I used to buy a gun, now I got 2. Had to change location, feel hit the spot. Got me a new plug and it still get drunk. Get the gas from the best crop. Bitch got the biggest ass and the best top. Drop 10 on the drop top. Did 110 when I left the lot.
I want that drip in that marinara, and 50 on me like a Zebo. Try to pussy so good, but don't want no fucking, don't come with the D-though. Got rid of my old plug, out on the plane, we got me another one. Night about full of ones, overflooded, gotta go get me another one. Relocate the spot, the night getting hot, and I know them bitches coming in. About the dividends in the Benjamin, a nigga might have to go kill a friend. Panamera on the Roy Royce, drop top on the Wraith. 150K, I need a higher place, I had to pay at the safe. I used to buy a gun, now I got 2 Glocks. Trapped at mama house, now I got 2 spots. All this ice on, I need a flu shot. but don't reach, cause they probably get your crew shot. Yeah.
I used to stash the ones in the shoebox. I used to buy a gun, now I got 2 Glocks. Had to change location, fit, hit the spot. Got me a new plug and it still get dropped. Get the gas from the best crops. Bitch got the biggest ass and the best top. Drop 10 on the drop top. Did 110 when I left the lot. I dropped 10 on that roller watch. Then I blew 10 when I left the spot. I made 10 at another spot. We dropped 10 at your beach spot. I got 30 at your whole house. I got bowls at your mama house. On the low, I stashed that 40 in the fender, nigga. Out of state to state in different runners, nigga. In the mouth like a dentist. And I ain't saying shit like a witness, He ain't get the picture. Milk carton ain't missing. You know, I used to stash the ones in the shoebox. I used to buy a gun, now I got 2 Glocks. Had to change location, fit, hit the spot. Got me a new plug and it still get dropped. Get the gas from the best crops. Bitch got the biggest ass and the best top. Drop 10 on the drop top. Did 110 when I left the lot.
Shit stop a nigga like me, nigga. You never be fly as me, nigga. I used to bust down a P, nigga. Just to run up me some cheese, nigga. Listen to me when I speak, nigga. I say you hope I'm a priest, nigga. Yeah, I'm a priest to the streets, nigga. Listen to me, we gon' eat, nigga. Listen up, listen up, listen up. Pull up and hop out that Fendi truck. Flex on these bitches with no muscle. You know with blood on my Fendi buckle.
Drips on my nigga, codeine in my liver. I'm smoking that fruit in my pedal like Skittles. Ballin' you niggas won't pick up my drip. But then the bail like school dismissal. Just caught a bum, no missile. Nigga try to Jew me, I'm Hitler. You know I ain't lying, no symbol. Money over bitches that simple. Bowls in the kitchen, no dishes. All about bread like Jiffy. Clumsy with the weed, I'm tripping. Shawty got it for the low, let's get it.
Get in the guapo. Nigga, we pass it like Rondo. OJ in that Bronco. We smoking gelato. We smoking that game. The bitch with the ass. She ride like 6 Flames. We counting the cash. Nigga, I fuck them, you love them. My nigga, I'm a hustler. Get cake like a muffin. Hot in the oven. Ace money got brains. Nigga, we popping them tabs. Nigga, pull up in that chain. She in love with the swag. Thank God for the blessing. Blue sheets, salad dressing. Juggy finessing. Fucked her in second.
Don't shit stop a nigga like me, nigga. You never be fly as me, nigga. I used to bust down a P, nigga. Just to run up me some cheese, nigga. Listen to me when I speak, nigga. I say you hope I'm a priest, nigga. Yeah, I'm a priest to the streets, nigga. Listen to me, we gon' eat, nigga. Listen up, listen up, listen up. Pull up and hop out that Fendi truck. Flex on these bitches with no muscle. You know with blood on my Fendi buckle. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Hey, I look like I'm worth about $1 million. I'm loaded, my sweat through the ceiling. I got this shit off of drug dealing. Rats all on me like I came out the bank. We turned up, he just broke out of paint. Told my engineer don't turn me down. Toss it to blue, told him break it down. Back to back rolling up out a pound. Got some little gangs to come out the mouth. Shoot around me when I'm out of town. Soon as I hit him, it got around. Fuck all these niggas who doubted us. Bitch, I went 4 years without a fuck. I do not give a fuck, no nigga killing us. I know you broke, you ain't feeling us. My life expensive, I live it up. These niggas witching, I give it up. Still the same shit, I can't switch it up. These niggas bitches, they switching up. Gucci the lure, I switch it up. Racks, packs, switch it up. Run it up, run it up. Your life ain't worth shit but $100 bucks. 4-0 don't pull up without it. No limit, we bout it. Strong, got it, clouded. Nigga, come through in the outed. Don't shit stop a nigga like me, nigga. You never be fly as me, nigga. I used to bust down a P, nigga. Just to run up me some cheese, nigga. Listen to me when I speak, nigga. I say you hope I'm a priest, nigga. Yeah, I'm a priest to the streets, nigga. Listen to me, we gon' eat, nigga. Listen up, listen up, listen up. Pull up and hop out that Fendi truck. Flex on these bitches with no muscle. You know with blood on my Fendi buckle. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. I look like I'm worth about $1 million. I'm loaded, my sweat through the ceiling. shit off a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Damn, got hit.
Side 92nd Street, nigga. Can't shit, nigga. Hey, I'm watching on the block for real, nigga. Duck them all the way back to Cash Street, nigga. Cash Street, the W, nigga. Falls on like my motherfucking thumb, nigga. 2, 3, nigga. What's cracking, nigga? Crack this stuff, nigga.
Hey, I started off rapping passenger. Call the ambulance, every single beat a master. Yeah, my bitch be running, had to make that dick adapt to her. All my homies feel like pictures, they trying to capture her. Load that glizzy like a workaholic, get busy. Yeah, I got shot like Shakur O'Neal, he missing. Merry-go-round, cause you hit it, you might get dizzy. All these motherfucking bars, you would think I'm rapping in prison. From Memphis to Watt, bitch, I'm pop, bring by Bishop. Untouchable with revolvers, got the juice like I'm Bishop. Pack a nigga out like we helping them do some sit-ups. Got a homie like a Uber, I pay him, he threw them pickups. It's war, nigga. Grab that Draco and left to right. Starting to think my white boy racist, they killing niggas on sight. This the game, not a guy and little homie, so change your life. If your gun jam, make like a plumber and change the pipe. I love it. Gang shit, man. Check this shit out. Hey, late night after dog, me and YG Wolf on a mission. Broad day of dog, it don't matter, no competition. Joey J. Hen, that's some shooters, but they ain't in it. Crucial said it best, your bitch ain't the only one with extension. No, I'm not a cook, but I'm cooking shit in the kitchen. Damn, they broke my hands like that bitch for testing my pimping. Breaking bitches left to right, Brian Nick be my witness. After I get through fucking that bitch, I'm in the mouth like a dentist. Free blood raw, I done turned this shit to a movement. These niggas acting, we load a couple clips, shoot a movie. These niggas pirates, gay as fuck, just want the booty. Make my family proud, sugar mama, Penny and Trudy. What's up? Twist your finger, chop what she banging. My flag like an old lady titties, you know it's hanging. Breath off in the time, but these bullies will get the slanging. No, I'm trapping off these features. A year ago I was slanging. These bitches dogs too, but they never bite like a poodle. These niggas giving out information like they on Google. Treat them like a model. Set them up, then I shoot them. Gang shit, nigga. G200. Hey man, YG Cable, man. Don't bring your ass to Memphis, nigga. Gang.
Nigga don't watch it and watch. You don't think I'm all over this motherfucker on blood. Damn fools, nigga. Y'all talking that stupid ass shit, nigga. Pull up on my motherfucking block, nigga. Unloading them 30 rounds, bitch. Like my nigga Cruiser said, man. Your bitch ain't the only one with extensions, nigga. Nigga, I got pulled all the way in Cali, nigga. That's about me, nigga. Straight tools, nigga. Come on, man. Y'all know what's going on. Nigga, I done been out there on the motherfucking blocks, nigga. Nigga, I done took shots for this shit. Nigga, I ain't had to go to the doctor for this shit, nigga. Stay in your line, little nigga. Gang bang shit ain't what y'all want, nigga. Tools. What's up, nigga? Fuck.
Purchase your tracks today.
Trying to be with a trap. Trippin', see all of my niggas been trippin'. Trippin', see all of my niggas been trippin'. So your ass off it trippin', so your ass without the plastic. Man, I got a house to store, damn, my niggas been trippin'. Got a 9 to 5, nigga, what you call that shit, that's trappin'. Trappin', see all of my niggas been trappin'. Sir, your ass off and trapping. Sir, your ass without the plastic. Damn. If you got a 9 to 5, what you call that shit? That's trapping. Nigga about to body off the speed. This shit need a gas.
Came from the corner, nigga. Bustin' pounds of marijuana, nigga. I I just came from Arizona, nigga. Went to Denver, ran across a plug. Way back in 10, I was selling drugs. I'm a street nigga, get plenty love. 4,000 rats with my Fendi plug. Still trying to run up a Billy truck. Back in the day, I was getting it up. Now every day, nigga, live it up. I ain't make shit off this rap shit. I'm in the trap with the lemon squeeze. Bitch, I came up, I was selling peas. I know some niggas who copping keys. I know some niggas that were trapping, nigga. Now they locked up and they copping pleas. Buzzing jug while I'm in the street. These Gucci's on a nigga feet. If I'm broke, then I can't sleep. Run it up, bitch, I gotta eat. I know these niggas can't take me. Never let no nigga make me. Never let no bitch break me. Never let no nigga hate me.
Trippin', been trippin', see all of my niggas been trippin'. Serve your ass off at traffic, serve your ass without the plastic. Man, I got a house, a store, damn, my niggas been trappin'. Got a 9 to 5, nigga, what you call that shit, that's trappin'. Trappin', see all of my niggas been trappin'. Serve your ass off at traffic, serve your ass without the plastic. Damn, if you got a 9 to 5, what you call that shit, that's trappin'. Holla Lucimo. Simo. Yeah, he'll make a nigga tuck that chin like he Debo. You niggas saving hoes a hero. We just take money like Cheeto. Take a couple shots you niggas can't block. I just call that shit a freak though. Damn, I just kill a beat every damn time. Murder this shit, man, this shit is a crime. Snow this boy up, man, they call it a line. TOE, man, you know, mouth in my prime. Man, this beat, man, this shit murder. True to the game, you see murder. Jump up over the game like a herder. Push his off in your back like a turtle. This shit is murder, we straight back to kill it. Yeah, every nigga that I'm grilling. Everybody that I'm with, that I'm grilling. Every nigga get the cheese and they willing. You can catch me at the BP. Get your binoculars, see me. Hell yeah, hands up, it's a touchdown, little nigga, a TD. Bitch. Trappin', see all of my niggas been trappin'. Serve your ass off at traffic, serve your ass without the plastic. Man, I got a house, a store, damn, my niggas been trappin'. Got a 9 to 5, nigga, what you call that shit, that's trappin'. Trappin', see all of my niggas been trappin'. Serve your ass off at traffic, serve your ass without the plastic. Damn, if you got a 9 to 5, what you call that shit, that's trappin'. Nigga about to body off the beat, this shit need a casket. Damn.
Young nigga love to be perk. Just pop me another perk. Young nigga shoot just like Dirk. My bitches, she love to twerk. I got bitches on bitches. I got the racks out like tennis. I'm in her mouth like a dentist. Young nigga, he whip like a chemist. H money the shit, nigga. Blue money, no crip, nigga. Just fucked on your bitch, nigga. Ballin' like Swish, nigga. I pull up in a foreign. I got hits like George Foreman. Young nigga ballin' like Jordan. Got your bitch and we touring. I just fucked on your queen. She so fresh and so clean. I do this shit for my team. I got the juice like Raheem. I'm in the trap with the Uzi. They say my life like a movie. My bitch, she bad and she bougie. I got her wet like jacuzzi.
I got the juice like Raheem. 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 Strap on my hip like I'm Bishop. Hit him like steel with the pistol. Pivot he hold like I'm Bishop. She's up the D to the gristle. I got the juice like Raheem. 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 Strap on my hip like I'm Bishop. Hit him like steel with the pistol. Pivot he hold like I'm Bishop. She's up the D to the gristle. 3D got juices for sale like the candy lady. No coke when I'm dope like an 80s baby. I'm fresh to death dressed in the latest. R&B Banco, I'm changing faces. Cause I got the juice. Cushion hard, might knock up the tooth. Team full of kings, yeah, we them a loose. In the VIP, get the fuck out my booth. Bitch, I gone like Bishop. Put a hole in your head, go straight to your tissue. Wipe it down, fuck some tissue. You can get the whole magazine if it's an issue. Yeah, I got the juice like I'm at the top, they want.
What's good, Warren? I'm gonna let this song finish real quick. Like 1 minute left on this song, and then we gonna get right to it, all right?
Yes,
Me
sir.
and you gonna get right to it. 1 minute left on this song. Check it out.
Thumb out the roof. I'm boy, no bite, bullets bite like root. Yeah, I'm about that business like a tyler suit. 3 hoes. I got the Jew like Raheem. 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 Strap on my hip like I'm Bishop. Hit him like steel with the pistol. Put in the hole like I'm Bishop. She took the dick to the gristle. I got the Jew like Raheem. 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 Strap on my hip like I'm Bishop. Hit him like steel with the pistol. Put in the hole like I'm Bishop. She took the dick to the gristle.
Hey Warren, what's up with it? Warren, what's good? What's up with it?
Man, what's good with the family? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How you
I
feeling?
hope your Friday is doing good for you, man. Another day, another
Man,
dollar.
I'm good, man. It's Friday, bro. Friday,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great week, man. You know, it's so much to talk about. Devin Haney called out Shakur Stevenson. You know, Shakur Stevenson hasn't responded yet to the call out from Devin Haney. Now, Shakur was doing a lot of talking until Devin Haney called them out, man. What's your thoughts on the Devin Haney Shakur Stevenson call out? That Devin Haney said, I want to fight Shakur Stevenson. I want to fight him. What's your thoughts on that? When Devin Haney came to the show, you was on the panel with him.
It sure was. I was listening. He did what he was supposed to do, you know. Let him know that he's top dog, you know.
He definitely is. Yep, he is the top dog. He got 6 belts. He the only champion at 135. He the undisputed.
Right. He the man. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man, right?
That's how we go. That's how Devin Haney became the man. He beat Kambosos. Kambosos was the man at that time because he beat Tio. And Tio beat Loma. And you know, and they said Loma was the man. And that's how it works in boxing. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Devin Haney beat the man, and George Kambosos is the man that beat Tio. And that's how it worked. And until somebody can beat him, you know, Devin Haney's going to be the man.
So, you know, in chess, you ever play chess?
I don't think so. Nah.
Okay, so some moves. The whole objective is to preserve the king, right? Not let your king get taken, right? And so you can't put out every fire. Some fires, you know, you just gotta let them just die out. You know, ain't no sense in pouring gas on it because it only get worse.
Let me switch to my cell phone. Keep going. You keep going until I come back.
Yeah,
so, right back.
Yeah, so not every fire needs to be put out by you, or every challenge needs to be addressed. You're the king, so everybody's coming for your throne. You can't stand there and fight every war that comes your way. Some wars you just gotta let them play themselves out, and if it gets too close, then you stump it out. You know, because everybody's gonna be coming for him. He's got a target on his back, so. Shakur Stevens not going to be the only one talking about him and coming for him. It's going to be a whole lot of other people. And the longer he stay there, the more people that's going to come out the woodworks and talking and some of them just talking. They really ain't trying to be about that. They just want to have their name attached to his name to get that notoriety or get some exposure. So not everybody is intentional about trying to go through Devin Haney. And when you're playing chess, you don't necessarily need to keep every pawn. Some pawns you sacrifice some pawns for the bigger game. And so that's all I want to say about that. I don't think Devin Haney. I think he already earned the right to be king. He worked his way. He sacrificed. He sacrificed to become the undisputed. But with that sacrifice comes great responsibility. And he has to be responsible enough to know that everybody's going to be coming for him because he's the undisputed. And he can't sit up there and entertain everybody that talk shit about him. And so that's what I have to say about that. But nevertheless, we got Tyson Fury fighting this weekend, right? I think.
Warren, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. What's good, Warren? I'm back now, man. Hey,
Yeah.
man, you right, man. You cooking, bro. Was you shocked when Devin Haney pulled up to the show?
Yeah, man. I wanted, but we was up in arms at that point. So I just wanted to have the opportunity just to hear his thoughts, man. I got some of it, but we was at that point. Bill Haney was up in arms, and a few other brothers, including yourself. So I didn't get a chance to really. Well, I mean, I enjoyed the fact that I was able to get that close. I'm from Midwest, so I don't get close as I can get to them at this point through TV. You know what I mean, or through YouTube. So that was special to me. I'm just gonna keep it 100.
Hell yeah, man. I was surprised. Like Devin Haney came out of nowhere, bro. That wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. He just was listening.
I know you didn't plan that. I
didn't think he was. I didn't know he was coming. I didn't know that nigga was coming. And that nigga came through.
We didn't know Bill was coming. We didn't know Bill was coming. It ain't like you invited him to come. They showed up.
Yeah, but we know Bill be listening though every day. We know that Bill is like a regular, but we ain't know the champ was gonna come through, and that was big. Devin Haney ain't have to come through. He the undisputed champion. He could have just ignored that bullshit that Shakur Stevenson was talking about. But that nigga was like, fuck that. I'm about to check this nigga. Now, if Devin Haney can come to the channel, he's the undisputed champion. He's the A side. He the one with all the belts. Shakur Stevenson got to respond to this man at this point. Warren, because people wanted Devin Haney to respond. Devin Haney responded now. Now Shakur got to respond.
You break it up, H Money. You going in and out. The difference is it's a big difference in playing chess and playing checkers. And you got to understand these two guys are chess players. Big difference. And when you're playing chess, you can't listen to all the outside.
The undisputed champion. He won't smoke with everybody. Devin Haney came to the show, said, nigga, I'll fight anybody, nigga. He said, whoever, nigga, you name him. Nigga, Shakur, he can get it. Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, everybody at 135, homie. He didn't leave nobody out. That nigga ain't picking and choosing. That nigga calling out the top guys. He's looking for the best fights possible, bro. Hell yeah. Haney, bro.
Well, I mean, he's on the top of the mountain. Everybody else is trying to get up to the top. So it's more people at the bottom than it is at the top. You feel me? Only one person can stand on the top of the mountain. So of course you're gonna have a whole lot of people coming out the woodworks because they want to stand on top of the mountain. That's including Steven Shakur. I'm sorry, Shakur Stevenson. Because it can only be one.
Exactly. There can only be one. And right now, there's only one person that got all the belts, and that's Devin Haney.
Right.
He got every belt.
But It's a strategy, it's a strategy protecting the tip of the top of the mountain. You can't go spreading yourself thin and fighting every little fight. You deal with the one that's closest to you, that's trying to get your crown, and then you take their head off. And at this point in time, right now, Lomachenko is the one that's up. That's supposed to be the one that's close right now, according to Bob Arum. If we're going by what Bob Arum, if he's the narrator of this right now, at this particular point in time, Lomachenko is the one that's next in line. At least that's what's being said. That I'm not saying that's the case, but he's the next in line, and then you go from there. You defend your castle strategically. You don't just go out there guns blazing and don't hit nothing. Next thing you know, you off the mountain.
Hey,
Because you let
Warren, that's the plan though. That's the plan, for Loma to get the fight first, and then you can do the whatever's next. But the plan was for Loma to be first, and everybody know that.
Right. So in a cipher, when you building, when you building and you building, you build from a foundation, then you start building on that foundation. You don't just let nobody take you off your square, and then you start. So he have to stand on this square, and he has to be strategic. He has to be a student at the same time, being strategic. But at the same time, shit, not every fire needs to be put out. Shit, let that motherfucker burn. We'll just grow it back later. Cause it ain't worth the energy to put out that fire right now. That's all I'm saying.
Facts, Warren. You know what I mean? I think 135 right now is the hottest division in boxing. There's so much shit going on at 135. You got Tank Davis. He been talking shit about everybody. You got Devin Haney going at everybody. You got Shakur Stevenson talking shit. You know what I mean? Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko. There's so much smoke at 135. It's my favorite division in boxing right now. It's the most activity.
It's a
And they
reality
fighting each
TV
other
right
too. Them
now.
niggas fighting each other, right?
It's boxing reality TV right now. You get all the drama, the smoke, all of it, all in one on YouTube. And then you got your odd characters that come in like myself, who gets to watch it firsthand, live audience. Get to see the smoke in live. But Fury fights this weekend, don't he?
Yep. He fights tomorrow.
What you think about what you how far? I got Tyson. I'm pretty sure you got Fury too. What round?
I think it's gonna be early, man. I'd say round number three or four. Fury been looking like a beast lately.
Damn.
Fury been looking like a beast lately. You seen what he did to Wilder, and even in his fight with Dylan White, knocked his ass out. And this guy he's fighting, Fury already beat him 2 times. So he already beat this guy 2 times. This their third fight with each other.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I got Fury, man. I think Fury is a monster, bro. I can't deny it. Fury is a dog, man. Fury is a beast, man. I think he's one of the best.
Smart.
Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Smart. That dude, he's smart. He know how to use what he got to his advantage. I mean, his weight and everything. He uses it well too. And he disguises it well too. And you wouldn't know unless you was looking for it. You know what I mean? That's what he's doing. That man will put all his weight. I mean, he just like, how you ever play that game where a motherfucker said, catch me? What is it called? Damn, what is it called? They fall back and then they got to trust you to catch them. They just let all their weight fall back. I forget what that game was. Well, anyway, these two big guys. They look like they 275, 300, right? And they go, they find the smallest people to try to fall on, catch me, and and everybody's running from them because they know that's what they do. Man, that's how that dude do. That man put all his weight on you, man. Not only are you boxing, you trying to keep that weight off of you.
Exactly. And Tyson Fury got that toughness too. He tough.
Yeah.
He got
Yeah.
a chin. He got heart. He showed it when he got dropped by Wilder. He got
Man,
dropped, got back up, kept fighting. And everybody Wilder fought, Wilder knocked out everybody but him.
He hillbilly. He true hillbilly. He a gypsy for real. They call him. He ain't the Gypsy King for nothing. He a gypsy. He a true gypsy. They can take some licks. And when Wilder dropped him, that motherfucker got up like the Undertaker, set up just like the Undertaker. I was like, damn. That motherfucker set up just
That
like
was
the
crazy
Undertaker.
how he got back up, huh?
Yeah,
that shit was
I tell
ridiculous.
you, like he was the
out.
Undertaker,
Wilder
man.
thought he was out too. You seen when Wilder hit him, Wilder turned around, he's celebrating and shit. He looked back, this motherfucker getting up. He like, damn.
I mean, he set up just like the Undertaker, man. I mean, he set up straight up like the Undertaker. Then he got up. You see that shit was wild to me. That's like, damn. It's a rap. It's the rap for Wilder. This dude is not playing.
Yeah, it just showed the toughness. Like I said, the toughness of Tyson Fury. The man got a chin. The man got heart. He got it all. And then he's 6'9". He's 6'9", 270 pounds. He's 6'9", 270 pounds, and he that motherfucking big. Like, and he that good too.
You ever been around some hillbillies, man? You ever been around some hillbillies, true hillbillies? I mean,
no, I don't think so. I mean, I am in the South right now. I'm from Los Angeles, but I live in Memphis. I don't know if you call these motherfuckers hillbillies, but this is the South. What is a hillbilly?
So you talking about motherfuckers that's this thick. I mean, they ain't got no type of they don't look like they work out, but they carry a goddamn car if they needed to. You know what I mean? I mean, they don't look nothing like they cut up. They don't look nothing like Anthony Joshua. They just tough. They could take some punishment. And it remind me of hillbilly. I used to know a couple of hillbillies, man. Them motherfuckers, crazy as hell. But they big as all get out. Them the motherfucking them like the linemen that come out of Virginia. So the college football, like the Alabama linemen, if you ever check out the size of those linemen, man. Them motherfuckers ain't like they cut up. Them motherfuckers just big and strong. Someone like Wilder. Wilder's from the country. That motherfucker is naturally strong.
Mm-hmm. He is. You right. What about a George Foreman?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Jonathan Simon, he says H Money and Warren. We call them corn feed.
Yeah,
that's when he's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
He's from Louisiana. He's from Baton Rouge.
We call the brothers that. We call the white ones I call white ones hillbillies. I call the brothers cornbread fed. Cause we eat cornbread, you know.
Hey, I mean, I used to hear about hillbillies when I was younger back in the day and shit, when we was kids and shit, and you would see them like on movies and shit. It'll be like a country ass, like I guess a country ass white person was like a hillbilly.
Just crazy. They crazy. They got the mind, they got that willpower. You know, they got a lot of willpower, and they taught that from young age. Gypsies. And gypsies. I know gypsies are a little bit different, but gypsies can be considered hillbillies too. But don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure somebody that knows better than I can tell me better than that. But I call gypsies hillbillies and hillbillies gypsies. So, and
What'd
they
you
ain't
say,
no
Warren?
punks either. I call gypsies hillbillies and hillbillies gypsies. I just prefer the hillbilly. Just goes off a little better than a gypsy. But they call him a gypsy king for nothing. You ain't called gypsy for nothing. You don't get to get. You don't just. You can't just walk around certain people and be called a gypsy. Just like the Italians, you just can't walk around and think you call yourself an Italian around some authentic Italians, or you can't be considered saying that you associate with the mob or what they call them friends. What's the name for them now? The Italian mobs.
Oh, like
They
the
got new
mafia or
name.
some shit. Goodfellas, what they call them?
Yeah. You can't just you can't just walk around and think you can be around certain people and say good fella.
Mm-hmm. Like
You
they
got
call
to be
them
careful.
wise guys and shit too. They got different
Right,
names
right,
for those
right,
people.
right. You just can't, you know. I know how the movie characterize it, but that shit is real. So you can't just walk around in certain circles and say you're a gypsy because you will be tested. Just like you can't go to a real cowboy. You can't call yourself a cowboy and be around real cowboys. They know the difference. They know if you're a cowboy or not, and you'll be tested. Just like you can't call yourself a Muslim and not be real around real Muslims, because they'll know the difference, because you'll be tested, right? It must be all. Nevertheless, yeah, I got Tyson. I don't know about 3 rounds though. I would have to. Shit. Then again, I would say 5. I guess it all depends how Tyson want to go in there, because sometimes Tyson just go in there and play with you a little bit and not really go at you. So I would think 6 rounds, no more than 8. Then we got Tyson. I mean, we got Terrence Crawford. This should get a bunch of people on the panel now. Anytime you mention Terrence Crawford name, all the what is it? What's the Walking Dead will come out and start coming on the panel. For sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. This gonna be a big year for boxing. You know that same day that Devin Haney was here, and Bill Haney, PBC came to the channel. The actual
Oh yeah,
PBC. Yup,
for real?
certified PBC YouTube channel. They was watching us. They was in the chat. They was leaving comments. They was enjoying the show. That's why I'm saying PBC, they cool. I like all of them. Top Rank. I love Top Rank, PBC. I like the Zone. Shit, BLK Prom. I like all of that shit, bro. Whoever putting on boxing fights, whoever support the sport of boxing, bro, I'm down with that, bro. I know we might talk a lot of shit sometimes, but I
Man,
like them all, bro.
we talk a lot of shit,
We talk
but
a lot of shit,
that's
but I like the Zone. I like all of them. And the Zone got some fights on tomorrow too in the afternoon. They got
yeah,
that
they got
legendary champion Chocolatito.
Yeah, that's the
Chocolatito is
third.
fighting.
That's That's the third fight,
Yeah,
right?
trilogy. It's a trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear they
Yeah,
going
man,
back
that's
and
the
forth
third fight.
too. I hear they going back and forth too. Like shit.
So much on the line for those guys because Chocolatito won the first fight. It was controversy. Second fight, you had Juan Francisco Estrada that just beat him. That was another controversial fight. So now this the third fight to settle everything, and it's the last fight.
Where's it gonna be at?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be somewhere in California. I'm thinking somewhere
Okay.
in California. It's a
Okay.
good ass fight though. This day in boxing, we don't have that many trilogies, man. Like we have
No, we don't.
Fury and Wilder, that trilogy. We just got Canelo and Triple G, that trilogy. But
Yeah.
besides that, we not getting those type of trilogies, man. We need more trilogies in boxing. That's what Muhammad Ali used to do. The third fight, they used to call the third fight the rubber match. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
You remember that?
You're right.
Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, 3 fights. Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton, 3 fights. Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, 3 fights, bro. That's how you used to do it back in the days. And we trying to bring boxing back to the golden days. The days of Muhammad Ali, the days of a Sugar Ray Leonard, the days of Marvin Hagler, Bernard Hopkins. This is what we want to see. Pernell Whitaker, because those guys, they paved the way for the new generation, for the fighters like Devin Haney, Jerron Ennis, Terrence Crawford. These guys paved the way. And you seen what they did. That's how boxing got to that level when Sugar Ray Leonard fought against Thomas Hearns. Sugar Ray Leonard was only 25 years old. Sugar Ray Leonard was in big fights, man, early in his career, mega fights. His fight with Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray, he was only 23. When Sugar Ray Leonard, when he fought against Wilfred Benitez, he was 23 years old.
Man, that was
Benitez
a
was
hell of a fight.
21.
That was a hell of a fight, man. Them motherfuckers played chess that whole fight, bro. Them motherfuckers was going at it. That was a hell of a fight. They don't give Wilfred Benitez credit like he should have got credit, man.
I know he should have been on the Four Kings. See, they forgot about him in the Four Kings. Wilfred Benitez. He was a champion at 17 years old. He's the only fighter to ever do that, bro. He made history.
And he beat both. He beat Duran. And he beat Duran.
Yep, he beat Duran. He beat one of the Four Kings too. Yep. He had a close fight with Hearns. He lost that one, but it was close.
It was close.
What's up with it, Sheldon?
H Money, 50K, my nigga.
Mr. 50K. Mr. 50K. You know what I'm saying?
Look at
y'all
man.
to start calling me 50, man. I want y'all to start calling me 50 around here, man. 50.
We got to, bro. We got to. Hey, look, man. So we got Chocolatito Estrada this week, and we got Fury and Chisora this week, correct?
Yep.
Decent week in boxing. Decent week.
Yeah, what you got Fury? What round? How many rounds you got the Fury fight going?
12.
You think you're gonna stretch it out? You think you're gonna stretch it out, Shell?
He ain't stopping Chisora, man. It's gonna go 12.
Why? Why you say that, bro?
Fury ain't got power like that.
He didn't knock down Wilder.
He got power if you stand right in front of him and come straight to him.
Okay,
Chisora gonna be trying to get inside using that bobbing and weaving, trying to get to the body. Now, if Chisora gets tired, he may get knocked out. But we know, watching Chisora, he be breathing like a motherfucking stuck hog and still be coming. So we gotta see how it plays out. I got the shit going 12.
Damn. That's a tall order there, brother.
Well, tell me what part of that I was lying about.
No, I don't think you're lying now. More I think about it, though.
I'm just going off what I see, bro. Chisora being that motherfucker breathing like a stuck hog and still coming.
His breathing is deceiving you, huh?
Am I lying? In the corner, look like he's dead. And come out and come right at your motherfucking ass.
I got 7. I got 7 to 8. being stopped at 8.
Okay. Well, we got goddamn go see.
Ace Money
I
said
got
3 rounds. He said 3 rounds. He
Well, we
only gave
sure
him
gonna
3
see.
rounds.
That's the beauty of boxing. We damn sure gonna find out.
Come
I
on,
got
Sheldon is a Fury hater, man. The man hate Fury, bro. He ain't
can't
never gonna
stand that
give Fury
motherfucker.
credit. You
Can't
don't like
stand
that
that
nigga.
motherfucker.
Oh man,
There's
that's
certain
why he
fighters,
talking
you
that
just don't
shit.
like in boxing now. There's some guys I don't like. I ain't gonna lie. So I can't knock them.
Let me see. I got that Chocolatito Estrada fight being a war. I got Choc winning this third fight though. I got Choc winning it. I think he got robbed in the second fight.
Well, they said it was the other way around the first fight though.
Yeah, but I thought Choc won it. Second fight, I thought he got robbed, but the third fight, after that display he put on against Martinez, I think he gonna serve Estrada.
Hey, Sheldon, look, like Warren just said, some people thought Chocolatito lost the first fight. You know what I mean? So some people thought he won the second fight. And this is what the third fight is all about. It's gonna clear up everything in this third fight.
It's the rubber match, yes, sir.
I was talking to like great rubber matches in the past, like great trilogies. I think you got to start off with Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, and Kid Norton.
You got to start with Ali
just was
Frazier.
in it. Man,
Ali
yeah, Ali, man. What?
Ali Frazier, Ali
Man,
Norton.
Ali, legend.
And they were fucking each other up back in the day too, man.
Those were real fights. That motherfucker throwing 500, 600, 700 punches a fight.
Man, those motherfuckers was not playing. You could hear the punches in the wind.
Because those guys understood the science of boxing because they were boxers. They weren't athletes coming from other sports trying to be fighters. They were natural born fighters.
Hey, Sheldon, you missed it, man. Devin Haney came to the channel the other day. He called out Shakur Stevenson.
I heard about it.
He came to the channel. He called out Shakur Stevenson. He said, nigga, I want to fight. You know, because I asked him, you know, and he said, nigga,
I heard he said, I ain't even that type of nigga, let alone fighter. I ain't that type of nigga. I don't duck nobody. What are you talking about?
Exactly. And you know what kind of crowd you know how Ace Money get. He was on their neck like, look, what are you gonna do? What do you tell me what you gonna
say? What Shakur gonna do now? Shakur Stevenson gotta respond because Devin Haney's the undisputed champion. Devin Haney really didn't have to say anything to that nigga. You know, I asked him about it. You know what I'm saying? Because Shakur said his name, and Devin Haney responded. Devin Haney's the undisputed champion. Shakur Stevenson not even the champion. He don't have. He doesn't even have one belt. He don't have a belt.
Like Devin always said, anybody can get it. Anybody. Doesn't matter. Anybody. Did he not say that?
Oh, yeah. He said anybody can get it, man. He said, I'll fight anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. Nigga, man, you know, so. And he put some names on it. He definitely put some names on it. And, you know, that's what the people wanted to hear. And Devin Haney, he gave the people what they want. He's saying names. He's calling out names. He said, Shakur Stevenson, you can get it next. But he was specific. He was specific this time. He called this nigga out by his name.
But think about this. When has Haney not giving you what you asked for?
Always do. Yup. Always. You're right about that.
You can't hate on the youngster, man. He's 23. He undisputed. And he's willing to get in the ring with anybody. So you can't hate on the young man. If you hate on that young man, you're not a fan of boxing. You're a fan of fighters.
And he just got it. He said he finally got his money. They got
that shit. I knew he was gonna get paid. They didn't want no lawsuit like that. They'd have to pay that man triple. They didn't want to do that. They wouldn't have found that money.
And I what's his name said he wanted to fight him after his first, I guess. Huh?
Who, Broner?
Yeah.
Broner and Regis? Broner don't want that. Well, Broner might want it. I can't say nothing about Broner as far as ducking the motherfuckers. He ain't never done that. Broner fought everybody. He ain't never ducked nobody. So you can't put that shit on Broner. Now I don't know if he'll win. I think Regis will beat the shit out of him.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, but it makes good
he
if it's
will
on
get in there.
if it's made and it's done on BLK Prime, that makes good news for them.
That's their whole goal. That's what they're trying to do. That's why they putting on this Crawford fight. Got Cyborg on the undercard. They're trying to get eyes on their channel. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't either. I think it's good, smart. They moving smart, you know.
And I heard, I've been off for a little while, but I heard that Crawford already got half his cheese already.
Yeah. He said it. He said it out his mouth. He got 5 million already, and the other half is coming before his next fight.
So there it is. So they trying to make a statement. They trying to make some noise. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And so those niggas are saying that he ain't getting 10 million. He already dismissed that.
But them niggas is just haters. You know, it's a lot of niggas that just hate on Crawford. You put Crawford name in your fucking thumbnail, the algorithm is always green. Crawford, the hottest topic in boxing right now.
Yep. I was saying what I guess H Money was getting his communications correct. I said shit. As soon as you mentioned Terrence Crawford name, the Walking Dead will come out. That all of them come out and start trying to attack you, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. They just hate on
like
Crawford.
The Walking Dead zombies.
And you know, but people have to understand that this YouTube community in boxing is powerful, but it's small. It's not a true representation of the entire boxing fandom, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But we can get fights made if we push it hard and keep talking about it. The big channels, they listen. PBC didn't came to H channel before. The Zone that came to H channel before. So they listen.
Yeah, they listening. They starting to, they see the traction.
Yeah.
They see the traction.
Because we the only community that talks about boxing 24/7, 365. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Pretty much, shit. Yep.
So we keep those guys' names
lights will
relevant.
come on and shit by the time y'all get through on this channel.
Yeah, but we keep these guys, channels like H's and other channels, they keep these guys relevant.
Yeah. They got some good channels out there.
Yeah.
That be talking that real talk.
Y'all dudes is clout chasers. Where was you when Dev was here yesterday? Motherfucker, Kook Sports Mom, nigga, I'm busy. I got shit to do other than talk on the phone with you motherfuckers.
Man, I don't even fuck with them comments, man.
I just laugh at them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker got shit to do, man. Life is essential. You know what I'm saying? Shit still got to go on no matter what.
Hell yeah, you got shit. Christmas right around the corner. Shit.
For sure.
You got people with their hand out in the household, man.
Yeah, they always got their hand out in my household. That's just the way it is.
You know.
But yeah, man, things is going cool. You know, motherfuckers getting it in.
What you think about they talking about Prime trying to get Deion Sanders to go to a different school.
Who will say what now?
They're trying to, it's a lot of offers being offered to Deion Sanders to go to a different college.
You thought it wasn't gonna be?
Not this soon. I would think. I don't think he would give.
Went down there with. He went 11-1 last year. 11-0 this year. They see what Deion doing down there. He building something. They won't be Deion to come build that shit.
Well, if I was Wild, if I was HBCUs, I would try to make mine. I would try to make keep him.
Yeah, but they ain't got. They ain't gonna have the money to compete with a Colorado or UCF, Central Florida.
They better figure out something. Shit.
Better get some big investors or something, huh?
Yeah, they better figure out something, man. I mean, come on. You know what's up. They better rally the community or somebody around them.
And all that's true. But the bottom line is, if you want to keep it, if you want to keep it live, we need Deion Sanders at a major university because he can really make some changes. You know what I'm saying? I wish he could stay.
I can see where you're going with that.
In a perfect world, I wish he could stay at Jackson State and get them to national prominence. You know what I mean? But I just don't see it as being realistic with all the money that's out there now, especially with the licenses, the likeness, the image likeness and name agreement they got now. NIL, name, image, name, image, and likeness. They got the NIL agreement now where these dudes is getting paid in college, so it's gonna be hard to keep a Deion Sanders down there. Georgia versus LSU. I got LSU, IB, but I think it's gonna be rough. Georgia's a good fucking team, bro.
I'm taking Georgia. I'm gonna have to go with Georgia on that one.
You said Georgia?
Yeah, I gotta take it. I'm gonna roll with LSU because that's my team, but Georgia gonna be a tall order, man. Georgia's a good fucking team, bro. They're number one for a reason.
What is Ohio State doing?
They just got their ass kicked last week by Michigan. Michigan beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Damn, Michigan good?
Yeah, they good. They good. Michigan is real good.
I think Michigan just lost their running back or something. Running back got hurt. I think. Or is that Michigan State? No, that's Michigan.
I'm pretty sure they got a good backup, though. Man, them college teams, man, they whole team be good. Even the backups coming up.
Only thing that can change the game is the fact that LSU got the best linebacker in college football, number 40.
Beast, he a problem?
He gonna be a rich man pretty soon.
For real? You think he gonna be like Parsons?
In May, he gonna be a very rich man. He probably gonna come to the NFL and rip shop.
For real?
Don't bring up that game. Fuck Michigan. I know IB. I know, my nigga. I know. I know, brother.
He getting like that, Sheldon?
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker. Number 40 is a bad dude. He kept LSU relevant. He took over 2-3 games by his goddamn self.
No. He ain't no Lawrence Taylor, man. You playing with me, man.
There'll never be another one of those now. Come on now. Micah Parsons ain't that. Ain't none of them dudes that. There'll never be another one of those. Cool. Lawrence Taylor was a one-off, homie. Never be another one. Just like a Ronnie Lott, one-off. Never be another one.
Yeah, boy.
But you still got great safety that came after Ronnie Lott, where you had Ed Reed and shit. Ed Reed, you had Sean Taylor.
Them dudes was great. We don't know how great Sean Taylor could have been because he got killed, in that robbery at his house. But motherfucking Ronnie Lott, Lawrence Taylor, Ed Reed is my man, Hall of Famer, but he ain't that. He ain't Ronnie Lott. He ain't that.
Yeah, Ronnie Rock, them motherfuckers feared his ass.
That's him, Jay Simon, Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins, he's a monster. Watch out for that kid. He is a monster.
But
in your dreams, sports
Ed Reed. Look
what in your dreams. In your dreams.
He know his football too, Sports 7.
In your dreams. In your dreams. Ronnie Lott was the best to ever do it, baby.
That motherfucker put fear in me.
That dude was a beast, Ed Reed, bro.
No doubt, Ed Reed was a monster.
But Ronnie Lott was cracking motherfuckers. That nigga was a beast, Ronnie Lott.
I heard.
Yeah, he
I
put
heard.
in real hard.
Playing shit.
I heard Andre Rison say, "I didn't give a fuck what was going on when I was playing the 49ers. I had to know where 42 was."
Well, hold on, Mr. Shelton, and how everybody doing? Hello, Mr. Shelton.
Where's
Hello.
heaven? Yeah, I hear you, brother. What's going? Go on,
Yeah,
spit it.
Yeah, I got to. Now you got me a little bit on age, right? So, in other words, I was a 49ers fan when they had Jerry Rice, and it was when I had a bowling ball, and I put 49ers on the same color.
Right.
So, but I was a kid. You was a little older than I was.
Yes, sir.
So your reality and my reality was a little different. So
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put that out there now. But let me
Yes,
let you know
sir.
something. I'm not gonna take nothing. I'm not gonna take nothing from Rodney Lott to make a point. I'm not gonna do that. You know, I don't want to get too deep because you might chop me up if I get too deep. But what I will say is this.
Man, be careful.
Right,
You tread down dangerous waters.
Well, no, brother, I'm Aquaman, brother.
I feel you.
Now, I gave my respect before I said I gave my respect though. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
But this what I'm saying about Ed Reed. But there's different eras in football too. So
yes, sir.
Back when Ronnie played it, the game was different.
Yes, sir.
So Ronnie. Now, as far as sticking somebody, and they both knew how to read deep. They both know how to read the offenses. They both play. But Ed Reed was just revolutionary.
Yeah, he was. He
was basically a safety / cornerback / special teams.
Right.
And he had the work ethic and the leadership mentality, and that's something that Ronnie Lott had too. That's what separates those, the leaders.
Well, here's what separates it from me, young brother. I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to answer honestly, right? Who is the only man in NFL history to go to the Pro Bowl at all 4 defensive back positions?
I don't have that answer, man, and I knew you would do something.
The answer is number 42. The answer is number 42, Ronnie Lott.
I get that.
Left corner, right corner, strong safety, and free safety.
Now let me ask you this though, because I
knew tell somebody to do that.
Well,
that's the best they ever do.
Well, Mr. Shelton, I knew you was gonna do. That's why I acknowledged that before I started, because I knew at the end of the day you would do that. You'll pull that card. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it because, like I told you, I was like about 10 years old when you was about 20. So I knew you was going to pull that card. So I wasn't going to try to play that card. But let me say this. Let me ask you this. Now I know eras is different, but if Ed Reed was in Lott's era, would he be arguably able to do the same thing?
You know what? I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to keep it all the way live. I think if Ed Reed was in Lott's era, he would have been just as good. Because I think Ed Reed could have played in any era.
Okay.
He was that type of athlete.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Now, I don't want to disrespect Lott because, like I said, I had the bowling ball, the 49ers colors, and I had it insigniated in my bowling ball, 49ers.
Right.
But when I was young, I was front running. So the truth is, so none of that asked you this. I think Lott could have pulled it off, but if Lott was in Reed's era, would he have been able to do the same thing?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Because I knew
why?
Hit you. Why?
You know why? Because of the work ethic. See, the dude started and went to the pro, was a Pro Bowler, All Pro. I'm talking about first team All Pro at left corner, at right corner, at free safety, and at strong safety. First team All Pro, not second team, not third team. First team All Pro at all 4 positions.
I got you.
Same thing with Howie Long. People like to shit on Howie Long. Howie Long was first team All Pro at left defensive end. right defensive end, nose tackles, and defensive tackles. All 4 positions. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. First team All-Pro.
I definitely get that. And I get it simply because, and that, you know, that's where the age come in. That's why I put that out there. But I get that because if you I remember a lot as a safety. But it's a lot of safeties that can't play cornerback to save their life.
Right.
And to be able to play cornerback and not only play it but be an All-Pro, and then turn around and go into safety. And it's not easy transfer. Just because you're a hell of a cornerback don't mean you're gonna make a hell of a safety neither.
Right.
So to be able to do that, that's just hella good. I get that.
I tell you, another motherfucker who made the transition was first team All-Pro. Rob Wilson.
Yeah,
he was no bad motherfucker. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, he's definitely.
Hey, but what about Steve Atwater? He was another good one, like Hebrew said. He played with the Broncos.
He was 7 times first team All-Pro at safety. 7 times.
I remember when he cracked Christian Okoye, the Nigerian nightmare. He cracked his
career. He ended his career. Okoye was never the same after that hit.
Hey, them Bronco teams was great though back in the day with Terrell Davis, John Elway. They had that wide receiver Ross Smith. He was good too.
Easy Ed.
McCaffrey was a dog.
McCaffrey was a beast.
Hell yeah, but he was tough than a motherfucker. They beat my Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl, man. When I was a kid, that shit made me so mad. I was hurt.
Terrell Davis is really underrated in a long time. Like people that really know, but like to the average person, like Terrell Davis for about 3-4 years, Terrell was the man.
Why you think Terrell only played 8 years and he in the Hall of Fame?
Because he put that work in. Wouldn't he get like 2,000 yards? Like
yes, sir. Hey, Sports Heaven. Yeah. Who was that other safety that Denver had that was a monster? Came out of USC.
You got me, man. You talking about the white boy, Lynch?
No, the brother.
No, you got me. Who is it?
God damn, I can't remember.
Who was it, Sheldon?
I can't remember his name. I'm finna look it up right now.
I mean, I know John Lynch was a bad motherfucker white boy too, but
he was.
John Lynch played with the Tampa Bay Bucks though.
He went to the Broncos at the end though of his career, but that Tampa Bay Buccaneer team, that was a great team. That beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl. I couldn't believe they beat the Raiders that year, bro.
They beat the
shit out the Raiders.
With Warren
They beat the brakes off of them.
They had that linebacker that was about Derek Brooks. They had Derek Brooks too.
Hell yeah. He was fast as fuck for a linebacker. That nigga.
He's an underrated. He's one of the all-time great underrated.
No, it wasn't him. It wasn't Vargas. I tell you who it was. I tell you who it was right now. Hold
on. Hey, what'd you say, Sheldon?
I tell you who it was right now.
Yeah, I ain't gonna fuss too much with Shelton. He's the OG on the channel. I ain't gonna fuss with him like that. I get my 2 cents, but that's about it. I definitely, I get my 2 cents though, bro.
Hey, Sports 7, you seen Devin Haney pull up to the show barking at Shakur Stevenson? What I told you, nigga.
I heard you talking about it yesterday. Honestly, I missed it, my brother, man. I missed it, man. But
go back like with the second episode, not yesterday episode, but the one before yesterday. Okay. And you see, and Devin Haney showed up. Devin Haney said, man, he fight anybody, nigga. He said, I'll fight anybody. He said, nigga, Shakur can get it next. But that's what he said. Because you remember that day, you was like, man, you felt like people was acting funny and shit. But then Devin Haney cleared all of that shit up. I know you was on a couple of people on the panel. You said they wasn't keeping the same energy. So Devin Haney showed up and he kept the same energy, bro.
Oh, I would say this. I will say this, brother. Is I was listening to your show, and this is why I respect you so much and love coming to your show, and it's fun for me. Is because you was going in on Bill like a motherfucker yesterday. I
was upset at that time because me and Bill got into it. Yeah, I was upset, but what I was trying to say was, we just wanted to, we want to keep the same energy.
Right.
And that's what Devin Haney did. Devin Haney did what he was supposed to do, but at the same time, me and his daddy was going at it. Me and his dad, shit, we both love Devin Haney. You know me, Haney.
Yeah.
That's his son. That's his son. So we both love Devin Haney, and pretty much we was fighting over Devin Haney. Me and his dad, we both was fighting over him. Because we both love him, and Bill Haney, he think a certain type of way. Me, I think my way. And we ain't we're not gonna agree all the time. So we disagreed, and that made us go at it, and we start clashing. But at the end of the day, we just want the best for Devin Haney, bro.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Both of us.
Definitely.
The safety I was thinking about was Dennis Smith.
I don't remember him, Shelton.
How tall was he? About 6'2"?
6'2", 205. Dennis Smith.
I kind of remember him. I don't, but I do. I do remember, but I can't speak on him. But yeah,
number 49, Dennis Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But that was back then. So that was back in the days when defense was a, you know what I mean?
Dennis Smith gave the game to that water took it over.
Yeah, you couldn't back then. You could play defense. You could bump. It was like you had to earn them yards back then. So it was a different era.
Yeah, it was a different era. Here's the thing, right? Like a Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor couldn't play in this era.
Yeah. He'd be getting penalties.
Because the shit he was doing, you get kicked out the game. You get disqualified for the shit he was doing. It's a different era of football.
And I want to say this, and I was a little bit still that same concept, but I'm a little bit older. I remember LT. I don't want to take him off his pedestal, and you got to earn. People have to earn their positions, right?
Right.
So I don't want to compare, but let me tell you something, brother. And I'm not saying I agree or disagree, because like I said, LT is he earned. He's a one-off. He's a one-off. You have to have a player has to finish a whole career before you can compare to him. You just can't have a good couple years. But
look, man,
Mike Parsons.
You're talking about 300. You're talking about 320-pound linemen who have came out and said in interviews that they was afraid of this dude, that they would miss games if they had to play New York Giants.
That's true, but what I'm saying about Mike, and that part that means something. But I'm just talking about on a Sunday to Sunday basis, X's and O's. That motherfucker, Mike. I saw Michael Parsons live, direct.
Right.
Listen, that motherfucker right there. That nigga knows is a part of the football.
Right. I get that. I like Michael Parsons. I think he's a hell of a player.
And not just that,
because a hell of a career.
Because
but let me ask you this.
He's turned he single-handedly has turned the Dallas defense, because Diggs is a good cornerback, but Diggs is really 50-50 because he get burnt a lot too.
He's a gambler. He gambles.
Yeah,
he gambles. He gambles.
So he's good. I would like to have him, but sometimes you might want to say depending on what's going on, you might want to say, nigga, come sit on the bench because you fuck around and gonna fuck up. But Michael Parsons has, and I'm not saying that he don't have help because they got some good players on that D line, but Michael Parsons is basically doing like my man Starks did his first year in Chicago, but he's been doing it consistently for a couple of years. Michael Parsons has turned that defense to me. Dallas has the best defense in it, not the most complete defense, but they have the best defense. Like if you told me to pick a defense, I would take Dallas because the game is won in the trenches, and Dallas, Michael Parsons has helped the front seven in that defense is the best in the league, and it's because of Michael Parsons.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with anything you're saying, young brother. But I'm gonna ask you one question.
Uh-oh.
Who is the only defensive player in the history the 100-year history of the National Football League, 102 years, to be named NFL MVP?
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor, right?
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor.
I can't
So
argue
until
that.
somebody does that,
That's fair. That's fair.
he's the best to ever do.
Yeah, and like I said, I would never want to take him like, that's what this generation is fucked up, because I'm not necessarily your generation, but I'm about neck and neck with you. But but like it's like with LeBron and Jordan. It's kind of
Right.
like LeBron's good, he's great. But
He's great. He ain't Jordan.
But
He ain't
guess
Jordan.
what? The difference is that this is a microwave society we live in. Everybody want their shit today.
Right.
It's kind of like let the fans give you your props, right? Shut the
And
fuck
see,
up.
when you come to that Jordan-LeBron debate, the difference in the league is defense and hand checking.
Fucking right. You damn right.
Could LeBron have done what he's done in this league in that league?
A little bit of elbow when you coming down.
Yeah, we don't know that. We don't know that because the rules are different.
That's right.
That's why you can't compare the Lawrence Taylor era, the Ronnie Lott era to this era, because the rules are different.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? You can't compare it.
Yeah. Lawrence Taylor was breaking quarterbacks' legs, man. What you talking about? That's the
there would be penalties.
That wasn't even a penalty. That wasn't even a penalty.
Back
So
then
the
it
rules
wasn't,
are
but today,
different. You see what I'm saying?
That's a penalty today. That's a 50.
Today you're getting kicked out of the league and probably getting fined. Back then it was just a tough tackle.
That's an
Hard
automatic touchdown. That's an automatic touchdown.
That's why you have guys like Joe Montana, guys like Bradshaw, guys like Troy Aikman, who look at Brady and say, yeah, he's good.
Right.
But would he have been good in our era? We don't know.
Because one thing about Brady, as great as he is, and I hope the brother don't come on here co-signing because he loves standing up for his white boys. But the one thing about Brady is when you put that motherfucker face in the dirt and you can put pressure on. That's why the Giants beat him twice, because of Strahan. If you can put pressure on him without blitzing him,
you can beat him.
What made Elway great? What made Joe Montana great? And Brett Favre, and you can throw Aaron Rodgers, even though he didn't really win as much as he should have.
Troy Aikman, all them guys.
Troy, yes, sir. And Bradshaw.
Because they can stand in the pocket. Because they can stand in the pocket with chaos all around them and still make the throw.
But they was also able to make adjustments, and they was able to create.
Man, exactly. You got people like Dan Fouts, man. Yeah. That motherfucker he had the coldest receiving team I ever seen in a long time.
Dan Marino.
I'm glad
Dan Fouts never won a ring. Dan Marino never won a ring.
And both of those quarterbacks are arguably they're right there and the greatest of all time. That's a great point.
Exactly.
And the receivers back then was cold. Them motherfuckers was cold.
Because they had to earn them catches.
Man.
But see, just like Montana said, I went to 4 Super Bowls and I never lost. The difference between me and these other guys, the difference between Bradshaw and these other guys, the difference between Aikman and these other guys is that we can stand in the pocket with chaos going on all around us.
That's right.
And still make the throw.
And
we don't know if these guys today can do that.
And if they had to go outside of the pocket and improvise, they could do that too.
They could do that too, and they could take the hits.
That's right, and get up.
And they could take the hits.
You can knock
and get up and be ready to fight.
You damn right. They put their dick in the dirt. They get up and say, "Man, is that the best you got?" Guess what? Touchdown, motherfucker. You'll learn today.
Yeah, things are different. That's why you can't compare. That's why I tell H this all the time. H, his GOAT is Stephen Curry. I can't argue with that. Steph Curry's a bad man. But if you could drop Steph Curry off in 1982, it's going to be totally different.
Yeah, because he
drop
was
you off in 1990. It's going to be totally different because the rules are different.
Especially when you go into Detroit, they're going to punish you.
When you go to Boston. When you go to Philly.
Yeah, they're going to punish you.
When you go to Chicago, it's going to be different.
Prison
when you go to Portland, it's going to be different. When you go to Seattle, That's now Oklahoma City. When you go to Seattle, it's going to be different. You got Xavier McDaniel over there. It's going to be different. You go to San Antonio, you got preacher man Terry Cummins over there. It's going to be different. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, yo. You had Milwaukee in the 80s was sitting in Moncrief.
Man,
Hey,
sitting in Moncrief. You got Alvin Robinson. You got Jack Sigma. It's going to be different.
Cook, what up, Cook? What's up with it? Cook,
hey, this nigga. I was talking to this nigga in the comments, bro. You said something earlier, show more, bro. I was talking to this nigga in the comments. He was talking shit about Devin Haney. I was, you know what I'm saying, barking at him. You said I was talking when I said something about I had to address that shit because niggas was saying
no problem, brother. I saw your comment. No problem, brother. I got you.
Shit. I wasn't talking about you, bro. Like I was talking about this nigga in the comments.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm here when I'm here most of the time when I can be here, but you know, motherfucker got a life, man. You got shit to do. You know how that go.
Oh yeah, me too, man. Me too. I be at work and shit, man. I like being in the comments because like I said, I be supporting my nigga dead, bro, because I'm from the town too, and like I said, bro, it's hometown mom, nigga. Like we don't give a fuck, bro. We pull up on niggas too, like nigga in the comments and talking shit about.
X told us this about a year ago, and I'm seeing it come to fruition today. If we constantly talk about it and we constantly push it, we can get these fights made, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But this nigga talking about Devin. My nigga ain't ducking shit, bro. We ain't ducking nothing, bro. We ain't ducking no taco for shit, bro. Fuck wrong with these niggas, man.
I just told you that. I was on mouth. He didn't say I'm not just that type. I'm just not that type of fighter. I ain't even that type of nigga.
No, I just had to address this shit because I ain't want you being confused and acting like I was.
I don't get salty, bro. I don't get salty, bro. Everybody has their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? I just comment on it, but you know, I don't take this shit personal, man. It's boxing talk, just like at the goddamn barbershop. You go to the barbershop, you know, you gonna hear 27 different opinions.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what makes it the barbershop.
Exactly.
If everybody would have the same opinion, man,
don't take it personal.
It'd be stale, man.
It's a silent rule in the barbershop. Don't take it personal. Just enjoy the conversation.
Exactly. The niggas don't talk shit.
Hell yeah. All I know is, man, these niggas, man, my nigga Devin ain't ducking, bruh.
Nobody. Nobody. Anybody can get it.
I'm addressing that shit. You feel me? I know niggas talking, but shit, my nigga, we gonna show you niggas, bruh. Like,
hey, cool
like
sports.
Niggas gotta get shit
what he say on
bruh.
channel? He said, what he say on Extra Channel? He said anybody can get it. Anybody.
Yeah, he said it himself, bruh. I don't know why y'all think niggas like, nah, bro. Niggas gotta handle business. Like this nigga Loma was talking shit first, called him a boy. The nigga was saying all that punk ass, racist ass shit on Paulie Najee show, all that shit, bro. Nigga gotta get to him first. Yeah, Shakur talking shit now, but I'm gonna get who was talking shit first. Then I'm gonna line whoever talking shit next up. That's how it go, bro. You feel me? Like Shakur was playing like he was cool, like he was playing like he was like he cool, and now he want to call the nigga out. Okay, then, all right, I got you. Let me line. You can stand in line after we beat his ass. Then we go to you next Shakur. We ain't ducking shit.
But like Devin said in previous interview, he's always said, me and Shakur always knew we was gonna have to line it up. Did he not?
Yep.
He said line him up, bro. Like that as a man, bro. Whoever, I'm not finna. If I got something set up,
he said we friends. Yeah. But boxing is a business, and if the business calls us to line it up and the money's right, we gonna have to line it up.
Shit, unless we true family members, man, this is our job. That's their career. That's how they survive. That's how they live.
Right. Yeah, my nigga, like
respect. We can have mutual respect and everything. It don't mean that because we came up together and we in the same profession that we can't get in the ring and do what we gotta do.
That's why I fuck with y'all niggas, bro. Y'all the realest niggas, bro. H. Y'all niggas only niggas keep it real. Let everybody come on and say their opinion. So that's why I rock with H. All y'all niggas, you feel me?
And the thing that gets me cool sports, Devin Haney is the youngest. undisputed champion in boxing history. I don't see what's the issue. I'm like, what is the issue? It's like everybody want to give him some kind of flag for what? You know, he just want to be the best and he want to compete with the best. That's
Johnson, he's at the top of the mountain, and everybody is climbing up the mountain, is shouting, making noise. You know, when you're in battle, you hear all this noise coming from different directions. If you're at the top of the mountain, you can look down and you see whoever's close. That's who gets that work first. You know, that's the way I look at it. We're playing chess, not checkers.
Well, look at the history of boxing, right? Thomas Hearns and motherfucking Sugar Ray Leonard is friends to this day. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, yeah, friends. Yeah.
You couldn't tell in June of 1981, now could you?
Hell no. You would think they hate each other.
Couldn't tell it.
Uncle Sheldon, you remember Wilfred Benitez?
Yes, sir.
It was personal before the fight, and after every fight, what he would do, hug and kiss you.
Yeah.
And thank you. Because why? You gave me an opportunity to provide and take care of my family. Even though this is a dangerous sport. Before the fight, it was heated at the presses, at the weigh-in. But after the fight was over with, and Benitez would walk to your corner like a true man and hug and kiss you. And thank you.
What did Tyson say, Jay Simon? If you my friend, make some money with me.
Yep.
That's how you show me you friendly. That's how we friends. Let's make some money together.
Yeah, you got the name, so put me up there with you. Yeah. Let me get in and get some of that back.
The only one that was a little distant because it didn't have nothing to do with the fighters. It was the politics. It was Marvin Hagler. He stayed a little distant from everybody because he knew from the jump, this is a mental sport as well as a physical sport. And he took it serious. You know, but the politics of boxing and how he was mistreated early on in his career built an edge for him. It's not like he had anything personal.
You remember Jay Simon?
With none of these fighters.
Joe Frazier gave him the game. You remember?
Yeah.
Joe Frazier told me
a lot of people thought that Marvin Hagler was just a mean person. No, he wasn't no mean person. He just took his
Joe Frazier told
serious.
him you got 3 strikes against you. You're black, you're a southpaw, and you're good. And you ain't gonna get no fights.
The man had to go change his name to get some attention. It wasn't nothing personal and stuff like that. The thing with Marvin Hagler, his mindset was when there's a big fight on the horizon and there's a boatload of money to be made by both of us and stuff like that, we can't miss that opportunity. That's why he had an affinity towards Leonard more so than the other guys he fought. Now he never fought Benitez, but Hearns and Duran and stuff like that. Some guys fought him off the top.
Somebody off the hook. Somebody ringing off the hook. Oh, that's So, but that was a perfect segue into my question to you. I think Wilfred Benitez was underrated, man.
Yep.
I don't think he got his justice.
I consider him one of the kings. I said before they got 5. He just didn't fight Hagler. That's the only guy he didn't fight was Marvin Hagler. He fought everybody else.
Yeah. That boy was a bad boy, though.
And he was a true ambassador of sport. When a man can walk across the ring and just 24 hours before that, we going at each other's throat, and I can hug you and tell you, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And they're like, no, you're giving me the opportunity because who you are. You say, no, I can provide for my family because of you. I guess boxing is a little different, you know. They don't look at it that way, man.
Yeah.
When I hear one, the business, but a business is gonna be what the business is supposed to be. If the 2 top guys or the best guys in the world get the ring, the business is gonna be there. Y'all just gotta get the ring.
With all that you heard about Don King, man, and the more when I look back at it, Don King put on some amazing ass fights, though.
Yes, historic, man. Don King put on probably as one of the greatest promoter ever.
I mean, that man was That man was quicker than two left shoes, but
Yep.
that motherfucker made some hell of a fights. They can make a movie out of him.
Don King wasn't passing the opportunity to get that money. If you knew that money was there, you wouldn't pass the opportunity. He was gonna make that fight.
And we're gonna put the best. He wasn't trying to protect nobody's belt. He was like, man, let's get it on.
If you good or you want to be considered great, and you sign up and line up with Don King, you gonna fight. You better be prepared to be fighting a lot in your career.
Dropped too like a hot potato too.
Yeah, because Don King said it's not just your credibility on the line as a fighter, it's my credibility too.
Mm-hmm.
The more you, the greater you are, the greater I look. And of course, the more money, the more valuable you are, the more money I make. That's how Don King looked at it. The more valuable you are in boxing, that's the more I get. I'm in the same. I'm in the same boat. Your value brings my value.
You're
You
right.
know, if you don't want it, you'll have to go with somebody else. He'll chef your ass, and when your contract runs out, you might as well just leave. So you're like, nah, this guy don't want it.
Yeah, and with that thought, I think
there's not too many fighters he had that didn't want it. He had a stable of all-time great fighters. He was in iconic fights. Rumble in the Jungle.
Mm-hmm.
He was in major fights. I'm talking about the best fights in boxing history. Don King was a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Warren, I don't like to argue. We want to see these top fights. We want to see the best fighters in whatever weight class be matched up and fight each other. And for me to get in an argument, I just stay away from. Like, well, you know what? They got to fight. It's their career. If they management don't see it, and we asking for it and we clamoring for it, and they don't see it, well, I don't know what to say no more. Because there's no use for me to be arguing. A dead spot if some of these guys don't want it and their management don't want it. You know, what can I say? I'm a fan. I want to see it, but I can't grab their hand and say, you better fight this guy and get in the ring with him. I can't do that. I can just give my opinion, hope for these fights to happen. And when they do, be ready to look at it and support it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, all we doing is regurgitating what we been saying, this in a different way.
Yep.
I don't think we can say it. I think we ran out of stuff to say about if we talk about Earl and Terrence Crawford. But the one thing I would say, I think Terrence Crawford is very misunderstood because of the way he carried himself. I can kind of put him in the mind of a Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler wasn't much on big talking. No. He just want to do everything in the ring. I do all my talking in the ring.
But the one thing that Marvin Hagler had that Terrence Crawford didn't have, outside of him being with Top Rank, Marvin Hagler, and he was with Top Rank too. He was with Bob, but his trainers, the Petronelli brothers, that was his managers. They did their job. They knew their business, and Marvin trusted them. As the difference, since this whole saga done went down, you don't hear nothing from Bomac. Is Bomac still training him? Is Bomac still his manager? You don't hear nothing. Back in the day, even with Emmanuel Stewart, he was a trainer, but he was a manager and stuff like that. Whenever these big fights was on the horizon, it wasn't just the fighters that they had to discuss and talk with. They also talk with their managers. And when their managers would say it's a go, it's a go.
You know what? That's an interesting angle that somebody can narrate.
It's like every fight that he had under the Top Rank banner when he was under contract with Bob Arum, even though Bomac was his trainer, but they had a fight lined up, they had a fight on the horizon, he did an interview. That's why you knew something was coming up with Terrence, because Bomac always spoke. But this situation, like I said, Ernie talks. You don't hear or you don't even see Bomac no more. The last time, when Keyshawn fought?
Yeah,
Keyshawn
which
Davis fought
was,
on the
I
undercard of
think that was
Shakur and
earlier
continued
this
out.
year, though.
That's the last time you see Bomac. The last time you seen him. That's the last time I seen him. The last time you heard of him.
That's a good narrative that people can use.
Yeah, because
If
he always did like to say,
Bomac
I'm Bud's
even a
manager.
part of the
I'm not
picture
just your
anymore.
trainer. I'm Bud's manager.
If they wanted
you know
to
what
make
I'm saying?
they wanted to start some shit. You know,
when the situation went down, with the contracts and the money with Pacquiao, you didn't hear Bob saying anything, but you heard Bomac. Oh yeah, he signed the contract. But something on the end they didn't like, so the fight never went through. But you heard Bomac. You didn't hear too much Bob and Top Rank. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao signed the contract. Yeah, he signed the contract and stuff like that. Bomac went on record and said that, had an interview and everything. But now this situation, even with Avanesian, where's Bomac? I'm curious to see if he's gonna be in the corner next weekend with Bud. Cause a lot of his training video and clips that Bud done put up, I don't see Bomac. You see him, Warren?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen Bomac. I done seen Bud training and getting prepared for this fight with Avanesian next weekend. I'm like, where's Bomac?
I think they got, since they got their little gym thing now, I think a lot of boxers come to Bomac now. And so I think Bomac is more working from that angle. I'm just giving my 2 cents in it. They're definitely not right or nothing like that, but I think Bomac is more focused on training, being in the gym and working with different fighters and stuff like that. You got some lot of prospects and they're stable now.
But it just kind of odd to me, knowing that Bud had this time signed to fight a fight this year, and you don't hear nothing or see Bomac. So it was just odd to me because he was always visible. No matter who Bud fight, he was always visible. You'll see him working out and training in the gym. They'll give personal interviews. When they would interview Bud, they would interview him. I didn't see that. And I was just wondering what happened to Bomac. I don't hear nobody mention anything about him. You know what I'm saying? Last time I seen him was when Keyshawn fought. So
I think he got some more fighters, and that's the reason why you don't see him like that no more.
I'm curious to see. I'm assuming he's gonna be in that corner next weekend. I'm just curious to see because I ain't never heard nobody else say that was treating Bud.
You bring up an interesting point. That's something to look for.
Yep. Because I seen all them guys in the camp and training with Bud last week. I seen all them guys. A lot of them is young. He had a whole bunch of guys training with him and stuff like that in the ring with him because they took pictures together. But I didn't see Bomac. So I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna wait and see till next weekend. Next week at the press conference, because I'm assuming they're gonna do a press conference, and at the weigh-in, we'll be able to find out next week for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens at the weigh-in.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be all right.
Bomac for this fight. That's the truth, though. He said, I don't need Bomac for this fight. I'm going to go ahead and let Bomac do what he doing. I'm going to beat the brakes off of this motherfucker and get my money, and I'm going to see what's going on with Spence next year.
Yeah. And like Warren saying stuff like that, they bringing up a lot of young prospects and stuff like that.
Yeah, they got some real nice prospects, so I'm pretty sure that, that's his life at the gym. So
if he's going that way, it's smart of him because Bud Plus, Bud is entering the twilight of his career. You know, the
Right, he don't
Keyshawn
have to
Davis,
baby. He don't have
Marvin
to
guys, they
babysit
young.
Bud.
Bud is in the
See,
twilight of his career.
Then Warren fell off. He'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back. Hey, Jonathan, man, Devin Haney, man, he want all the smoke.
Yep.
He the undisputed champion. He got 6 belts. Like he say everybody name. You know, he say something about Tank. He'll fight. You know, he want to fight Shakur Stevenson. He want to fight Lomachenko. Everybody. I like that mentality by Devin Haney. He free smoke.
Yep. And you're supposed to have a mentality like that when you're in this sport. You're supposed to. For me to be the best,
Jay,
I gotta fight the best.
Hey Jay, did you hear me? He don't have to babysit Bud.
No, that's why I was saying Bud is in the twilight of his career anyway. You know, so he probably paying attention to these like Keyshawn Davis, these up and coming young fighters who are gonna be the future. Bud is in his twilight. He's a veteran. He's proven. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's a good thing that he's letting Bud figure it out when it comes to his next fights. You know.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll get to hear from him come press conference.
You know.
Then again, he might be salty because he made a business deal without informing your man, Bomac. Bomac may not knew that he was doing some of the shit he was doing.
Yeah. And he got a whole lot of stuff that's going on, like you see. He got a bunch of other fighters too, you know.
Yeah.
And Bud is at a point in his career and stuff like that, you know. He should be able to handle things like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, these young guys, that's a different scenario, it's a different story, but you've been in this game. You know, you're proven, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to finish it, because a lot of great fighters, you know that, Warren, you're supposed to have a lot of great fighters when they get towards the end of their career, the twilight, and they're still good fighters. A lot of times they take control of their career. Also, when they was younger, they always had somebody else taking care of that. They just concentrated on the boxing. But as they started getting old and mature in life and in the sport, you know, they kind of started, you know, doing their own thing. Some of them start their own businesses, own companies, promote their own fights, you know what I'm saying? Move on from promoters that they started with and stuff like that, you know. A lot of them try to build equity outside the sport because when you retire from the sport of boxing, you're still a young man. You're not old. It's not like you retired from a job and you're 60 years old. And like, I ain't going to do nothing else but sit at home and collect my retirement and Social Security. Them guys still pretty young.
Yep.
You know, I was listening to Andre Ward on Max Boxing, and he was talking about retiring. Max asked him a question, you know, how he knew when it was time for him to retire. Andre Ward wasn't even 40 years old when he retired. He was still in his 30s.
Yeah.
You know, Andre Ward said it was a lot of things years prior to me making the announcement to retire that I just started seeing that was different to me, you know, from the boxing part. I just thought, you know, the things that that had urgency, they came to the sport, that same urgency wasn't there anymore. He said, I grew up loving to be in the gym. All of a sudden, he said that urgency wasn't there and stuff like that. I didn't care to be in the gym that much. I started having other interests. And I got my family, I got a wife, I got kids and stuff like that. You know, they was always important and valuable to me, but they started to become more important and more valuable to me than the sport of boxing. Then he said and he said the injuries I had and stuff like that, you know, I was going to training camps and I was injured. A lot of people didn't know that. I was going to camps injured. A lot of fights I was injured because I was injured coming to camps. I had injuries that I didn't take care of. When I had downtime, instead of take care of those injuries and stuff like that, we were looking for the next fight and getting right back in the gym because we didn't want to lose no rhythm. But I had injuries that I shouldn't take care of, and them injuries caught up with me. They pretty much made me older than I was supposed to be in the ring. And I kind of noticed that too, Warren, when he moved up to light heavyweight. A lot of people thought it was the weight difference. I looked at him. I said, Andre Ward is not the same type of fighter. And I was like, I don't know what it is, because when he was at super middleweight and he fought in the super 6,
man, that was a cold.
I was like, hold up. He's still a young man. I know he moved up a weight class, and I said that might be the best thing because he's been at super middleweight for a while, since a pro. I see maybe the guys at light heavyweight might be a little bigger, a little stronger and stuff like that. But he said it was the injuries he had. He said, I didn't have all those same injuries when I was at 168. He said, I started getting those injuries starting to compile on me when I turned to the light heavyweight division. And he said, I went to camps. I was hurt going into camps. I was hurt going into fights. You know, but I knew what I had to do. I had to be a professional. You know. That's why I'm not opposed to a guy that wants to move up. I'm not opposed to him. Now, if you think that's gonna affect you in a physical way, I'm not opposed to it. You know, even though I want to see fights, if that guy got credible competition in his specific weight class, of course I want to see him or those fighters matched up with each other. If they're the best in the world and they're the best in their weight classes, of course. But I don't want no fighter to go into a fight with a detriment. I stayed a little too long. I started having wear and tear on my body because I had to put everything in a training camp to make weight to stay in this weight class. I'm not opposed to it. Because a lot of fighters are going to think like this, Warren, I can do it, I can make it because that's just the fighter in them. Yeah. I can push myself to a little extra limit and stuff like that, not knowing that you overdid it. You know, I'm not making an excuse, but that's life. That's life. If you ain't got your body, especially in a sport like boxing, and you want to be at the high level and you want to be there for a long time, man, that's number one. If your body ain't right, you ain't gonna last. Especially not in that sport.
For real.
That's why guys be doing stuff undercover, and then when they get caught, there's a reason why.
Because their body just broke down.
I couldn't compete on them levels, so I needed a little assistance. And then they end up getting caught up and getting caught. And then in the long term, those same things you did starting to affect your body long term that you didn't know about. They caught up with you. Canelo started having these stuff like that with his body and this and that. Yeah, he fought a lot of fights and he been in a lot of big fights, but he did some shit too. That's finally starting to catch up with him because Canelo is still pretty young. He's in the same age with Bud. Matter of fact, he's younger than Bud.
Who, Canelo?
Bud is older than Canelo. I think Canelo's like 31, around 32. Bud 35. Bud older than him. In the same age with Aerosmith, you would think, damn, Canelo should be damn near pushing 40. No, he just been fighting for a long time since he was young, as a kid, as a pro. That man in his early 30s. But now he's starting to have all these things wrong with his body. He can't even do road work no more. If you look at Canelo pre-Floyd Mayweather fighting at them lower weight classes, he can't move the same. And he was never the swiftest fighter on his feet, but he could have moved enough. He just want to stay there on the ropes, counter punch it, like he's the next version of James Toney. No, he not.
Even with his early fights when he fought the first fight against Triple G, right, brother? He even in the first Triple G fight, he had a little bit more movement.
Yep, because those all accesses they used to have, they go inside the camp and everything. You could see Canelo doing word work. Nah, a lot of them guys want to just stay in the gym and do gym work, and they don't want to get on that road. I said, nigga, something wrong with him from the waist down. I said Canelo wasn't, like I said, he didn't have the greatest feet, but he moved good enough. He moved well enough. If this would have taken a special fighter like a Mayweather or Lara, them type of brilliant technical fighters to give him problem, but everybody else, I said, this joker can't move no more. It's like he fighting in quicksand now. It's like he can't move. If you notice, he's still on the ropes. He can't move. His legs are shot. And he a young man. I say his leg. That's one of his main problems. A lot of people keep saying, well, he's too small for this. And I say, that nigga legs are shot.
You make some good points. You're making some good points.
He can't move.
Didn't he fight with a knee pad? What was fight? Didn't he have a fight with a knee?
Them basketball players be having that, after surgeries and stuff. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He had a couple of fights. He had that on his knee. And I'm like, damn. I said, basketball players be having that. I said, what are he doing with that? A lot of them guys, like in the off season, they have cleanups in their knees and stuff because the wear and tear playing a long basketball season, because you're running, you're jumping, and they have cleanup, and then you can tell they either got sleeves or they got whatever them little patches they got to keep their knees warm and that blood flowing in there because they got knee issues. But when I seen Canelo with that, I'm like, damn.
Well, the difference with boxers who box, they're not getting hit as much as opposed to person that likes to brawl and standing there go toe for toe. They take them a little bit more punishment, and that's what my little 2 cents in it. I think why Terrence Crawford is durable or is still fresh is because he haven't had to take a lot of punishment.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to keep harping on Canelo, but we talking boxing. Canelo is a very good fighter. A lot of people say he's overrated, but his experience and all the fights he had is really prolonging his career. His experience, that's why he went wrong when he picked Bivol, but that's why he picks and chooses certain opponents, because it's not just on ability anymore. That done caught up to him, the ability wise. It's just his experience.
Well, these young guys that pressure is catching up to him.
Because I told people
he's been in the ring taking a lot of going. I think he's the only fighter that I know that did at least 3 fights in a calendar year.
Yeah.
Or within a year.
Well,
who else has done that?
You got.
I'm sorry, my brother. You can go.
No, brother, I'm listening.
No, speak. I'm saying. I've been talking and stuff. I know everybody want to have their opinion. We don't have a heavy panel, but speak. I want to hear what you got to say too.
No, I was just gonna say in general, brother, and thank you. I was just gonna say in general that Canelo got a hell of a resume.
Oh yeah.
And he lived a life. He sacrificed and make the sacrifices necessary.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, when you go into a fight with knee braces on, and you pick, say like you picking and choosing fighter, he's still picking and choosing top caliber fighters, though.
Yeah, he is.
He's not picking like C-level fighters. Well, not all the time. I mean, and his resume, and I like, I'm not. He's not one of my favorite fighters, but I do respect him, and I am a fan of his. He definitely has earned his keep.
That's why I say, at times, I can't speak for everybody, so I ain't gonna say that, but we give a lot of fighters grief because of their resume. But if you go throughout the history and you look at the all-time great fighters and the iconic fighters, look at their resume outside of the big fights they had. But just look at the guys they fought, and you be like, man, who is that? Who was that guy? Whatever happened to him? What did he make of himself in his career? You can look at all these resumes about these all-time great fighters and be like, damn, he fought this guy and that guy, never heard of him. Never saw him fight in another big fight with another top-level guy. So a lot of fighters, you can, pick at their resume. A lot of guys. Some of them guys in the past, lost to guys they shouldn't have lost to, and still end up being great. And be like, how they lost to this guy, but he beat this other all-time great fighter. It's boxing.
Like Barkley.
Yep. I would never envision this man beat Tommy Hearns twice. I'm like, there's no way. Not saying he wasn't a great fighter. He was a rough, rugged, brawling, slugging type of fighter. I said, but he didn't have the skills that was to par with a Tommy Hearns. But I also say, but Tommy never had the best chin neither.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get to his chin and stuff like that, and that's what Barkley did. Barkley was able to get to his chin. He took a lot, though. He took a beating. But he stood in there and he got that one punch he needed to get in there, and that was the end result. But I ain't never envisioned. I said, man, this dude beat Tommy Hearns twice. Actually, I guess everybody have somebody's number. Because Durand just went there and won the middleweight title and beat Barkley. I'm like, damn. I remember those fights like it's today, man. I'm like, God damn.
Styles. Styles make fight.
Styles, man. Styles, and who was prepared and ready for fights. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes certain guys that you didn't think they was prepared and they did the thing they were supposed to do prior to the fight, and they was mentally and physically ready. And then you see other fights they and be like, God damn, man, what happened to this guy? Well, he wasn't prepared like he was prepared for that guy. That's why I always say, today's world of boxing, man, we got to get these fights, man. We got to get these fights.
Well, some of that too is, brother, is in them times, they didn't fight to not lose. And sometimes that gets overrated. Like,
yep.
And I hate that, like when Cobra fought the young guy that Tank's gonna fight next. It got to the point he started to get to the point of the fight. He was fighting not to lose.
Yep.
And with Canelo, and this shows how Canelo really is. Like, nobody's gonna. It'd be hard pressed to find somebody do Plant or Billy Joe the way Canelo did them, right? But still in all, well, I won't put Billy Joe because Billy was in their fight, but even with him, they was fighting not to lose. Back then, that's what made Aaron Pryor so great. That's why Sugar Ray really, it's not that Sugar Ray didn't have the skills to beat him, but like back then, them guys fought not to lose. They fought.
Yep.
And they gave it their all. That's why the fans love the sport so much. And it was such a big deal. Now, I'm not trying to take nothing from nobody, and never mind the match and all the matches. But when they actually get in the ring, they get to the point they fight not to lose.
Yeah. Yep.
And it affects the outcome.
That's true.
Because, if you're going in there against a monster, you got to fight.
Yep.
You can't half-ass, because that monster. See, the monster don't see. If I'm gonna slay a lion, the lion is a predator, and they're gonna kill me every bite, every swipe. They're trying to kill me. Yep. You can't go in there with the lion and say, "Well, I'm gonna fight not to lose." No, because the motherfucker gonna kill you. You
gonna kill you, man. Yeah, he ain't gonna play with you.
Hey, Jonathan, you remember Pony, man? When Pony used to be the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see Larry Holmes because I'm a big Larry Holmes fan. He was I believe he had endorsements with Pony. He used to wear ponies.
Everybody was rocking ponies back then, man.
Yeah, right.
in that time, Warren, that was something probably we could afford. I come up on ponies and Converse.
Yeah.
Cause that's that shit. I couldn't go to my mom and dad and say, cause at the time, we used to call that the white people shoes, Nike and all that other stuff. I couldn't go to them, man. Look, you better take them clearance sale or bargain brand and get out my face.
Mm-hmm.
I wore Converse and ponies damn near till I got to high school, man.
What happened to the pony? Pony was the shit too. Yeah.
Yep. If you had some ponies, you were doing good in high school. Yeah. All the little girls were looking at you. And the Kango,
I had the cloth Converse.
It was the Kango and ponies.
Yep. I had the cloth Converse, not the patent leather, the cloth. That thin ass Converse.
Right. Until Run DMC came out with the Adidas.
Yep.
Then that was the move.
That was the move. You know them guys got a lifetime contract with that company?
Wow.
Yep. So they made their shoe so famous and popular at the time, and they got a lifetime thing with Adidas, man. That's all you see DMCs in Adidas.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is my opinion. I'm not a big Adidas fan because those shoes aren't as comfortable. Like Converse a little more comfortable than the Adidas.
They wasn't even wearing it for comfort. It was all about style and look back then. We didn't give a damn about being comfortable. We was chasing them women, man.
Yeah, I get that.
Wanted to be cool.
I get that,
wanted to be cool.
And then different regions played different things. People had their own dress code and their own way they had their dress attire, different regions and stuff like that,
Yep. But shit, we thought $32 was a lot of money, man.
You're damn right.
But y'all paying for Jordans, man. I'm like, shit. They spending $3 to a G. They even spending like a G on shoes now, man. I'm sitting up here like, damn.
I remember LA Gear was popping for a minute.
Yeah, I remember that too.
MC Hammer, I kept me up, motherfucking pair.
Man, I remember I was maybe 10th grade. My first little job, I had a part-time job, and Jordans and stuff was getting hot. Man, I went to buy some Jordans, man. I said, "Damn, man, all my check gone, man."
Yeah, fuck that, fuck that shit.
Man,
all I could afford,
check gone, man. I'm like, God damn, I worked 2 weeks to finally get a little something. And when I brought them shoes to the counter and the cashier ring that up, I'm like, damn, man, heck, my little check going, man.
Yeah, fuck that, man. I was content with the Dope Man Nikes, a pair of Dockers, and a white T-shirt, and I was Gucci.
Shit, I couldn't even afford no Nikes. I had to, when I played basketball, I could only afford some New Balance, but New Balance was pretty slick.
New Balance was popping back in the day.
Yeah, they was pretty slick. I couldn't afford the leather All Stars, the Magics, or the Dr. J's, and so I had to go with the New Balance.
Well, I was rocking the Dope Man Nike. See the dope, that's the black leather joints with the Nike stripe. Yeah, so them motherfuckers wasn't but $30 or $40. And you get the Dockers for like, they was kind of expensive for pants back then, but maybe $20 to $30 maybe. And then that white T-shirt, man, nigga couldn't tell me nothing, man. I was Gucci.
Yeah. And then Jordache came and they came and went. It was Jordache gym shoes, Jordache jeans. Yeah, man.
I used to hate when my mom used to say, get ready because I gotta soon start getting your school clothes. I used to be like, damn, man, I wanted to go with my daddy.
Right.
I'll go with her because I knew where she was going. the thrift stores and the clearance. I'm like, damn.
Attack force.
Yep. Damn.
Yep. I know what
Shit.
you're
My
talking
dad
about.
was like, whatever you want, I just put it on the card and stuff like that. We was in the mall and everything, man. My mama, well, you're gonna have to go with your mom. You know, I gotta work and stuff. Damn. I knew she wasn't going to no mall and she wasn't going. Shit, man. And you
Well,
couldn't
she
say
understood
nothing.
that you guys was growing so fast that y'all won't be able to wear too long, so she wasn't trying to burn that cash.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they would tell you too. You gonna grow out of it.
I remember I didn't even tell my mama that I got my little job, man. I got my little job in the summer. I didn't tell my mama at all. And I was in the room counting my money. Mama came in the room. She said, I didn't know you was home. I jumped. She said, what you got in your hand? I tried to put it under my pillow. There was some money. Where you got that money from? Who you stole that from? I said, no, Mom. I didn't steal that. I got a job. Who told you to get a job? And I don't know why. I don't know why I told my mama that. I said, I don't like the clothes you be buying me. Man, she bust me in my mouth. I said, what?
You should have said that. You should have said that.
I told my mama, it just slipped out. I'm like, she said, what you need a job for? You old enough to work? I said, yes, ma'am. Why you need a job? We don't do a good job to take care of you and your brother?
Oh,
said, yes,
hell
ma'am.
no.
I just don't like the school clothes you buy me. Man, she bust me in my mouth.
Ooh, you should have said that. You probably get shit for the next few months.
That was that's that deep cover when he shot his man at the end of deep cover. You shouldn't have did that. You should have said that. You should have said, that's some Ike Turner. It all looked the same, Ike. You got your ass whooped for that one, brother.
Man.
At what point did you realize when you said that, Jonathan? Did you realize what point did you catch yourself when it was too late?
What you mean?
When you told her, I don't like
that look. She gave him that look. That's what it was. Shit.
Right.
You know,
my dad came home, my dad said, what's wrong with your lip in your face? I said, Mama hit me. I said, what she hit you for? Because I told her I don't like the clothes she buy for school. He said, well, you asked for it. He said, because me, I'm her husband. I wouldn't tell her nothing like that.
God damn.
Man, my dad used to be scared of my mama, man. That nigga wouldn't say nothing, man. My mama would talk to my dad in kind of way. And when we got older, we'd be like, well, Dad, you ain't gonna say nothing. Well, you know she always was the leader. My dad ain't saying shit. I'm used to be cussing my dad, throwing stuff at him. My dad would just go sit outside in the backyard.
He understood that he had to go to sleep.
Yep.
And back then, the women was good for throwing some shit on you while you were asleep, doing some shit to you while you were asleep.
My mama's sister lived down the street, did that to my uncle, man.
Right. Oh, yeah. And your daddy got whiff of it. Yep. Understood. Hey man, hold on.
See, my uncle, he was stepping out on my auntie, and that was the wrong woman to play with. She ain't told him nothing. Fixed his meal, made his bed water and everything. When the nigga fell asleep, stomach full, she poured some hot syrup on him.
Woo!
Let that cook long. He was like, Mildred, what you making with that syrup? Oh, I'm gonna make some popcorn balls. No, nigga, your ass. The minute he went to sleep, she put that syrup on it.
Wow.
I wasn't sure if this is like how it actually, like, if this really happens in families in the Black community, but I watched Medea and she did the hot grit, the pot of hot grits and stuff like that. Does that actually happen? Like,
those are true depictions of some things that happen in the Black family.
Because I've always thought that was an exaggeration when I watched it.
No, it's not an exaggeration, brother.
My wife today, she throw water on me, she throw beer on me. I remember one time I put in my phone, I don't know what I was thinking. I got the series, and I said, call, series, call my bitch. And I fucked around and said that shit, and she heard that shit, and my boy was in the other room, and she said, "Oh, that's what the fuck you call I'm your bitch?" And I said, "Wait a minute, hold on." And shit, bitch, that she threw lemonade on me and shit, all in my face, and was drowning me like I was choking on lemonade. Yeah, crazy as fuck.
No, this shit. Them grits, you had to see the thing about how grits, you couldn't retaliate right away because you was still trying to heal from the hot grits. Because
it was throw the hot grits and hit them with the frying pan.
If you did that, back then, it wasn't no real strict laws about you hitting your wife for checking your wife. You know what I mean? If I could say it that way. Back then, the police wasn't just running over to your house then. So if you had to make them grits count. That way you put him down for a while before, because if he was at that particular moment, if he was able to, she would have been knocked out somewhere dead.
He said you had to recover from the grits.
Right. You had to recover, so you had time to cool down. You had time to cool down before you reacted to hitting your woman or doing whatever you're going to do.
Them grits will make your motherfucker hit that nerve and your brain don't work right.
No, right. Shit. All you thinking about is getting healed. and your skin is raw too. Come on, man. And it's on your body. It ain't on your hand. It's on your body. When you have to lay down and shit. Every time you touch it, every time you lay down, your body feeling that what she did to you. Making you think, well, if I retaliate, it'll be worse for me. Unless I'm willing, if I'm gonna retaliate, then I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to just leave, and I'm not trying to leave her, especially if you got kids. Back then, men stayed some. They had a little staying power because back then, working for the steel mill and all of that was rolling and was good. You can make you some money because you were working in these steel companies before they outsourced them. Once they outsourced them, that part of the reason why the black family broke down too, because the man didn't have no way of making any money, no good money anyway.
H, you there?
What's up?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up with you?
Hey, H, what I was telling you earlier before I told you that I couldn't talk because I was at a restaurant eating dinner, is I was reading an article on a Bleacher Report, and they were interviewing Stephanie and Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, and they were saying that they're trying to convince the board of directors in WWE to get involved in boxing, to have that the WWE promotion, the promotional side, get boxing more popular in the mainstream again. Would you guys be okay with that as boxing fans, or do you want WWE?
Well, they try to use boxing. You never know. But I think they could bring more eyes, like more people to the sport, more fans. But at the same time, they probably have like their wrestlers in boxing fights and stuff, like shit like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, like the
exhibition like Jake Paul fight one of their guys or some shit like that in a boxing fight.
Oh, okay, because they're specifically talking about just a promotional thing, because that's what as boxing fans, do you guys see that boxing lacks a consistent promotion? That's why it's not as popular as it used to be.
What are you talking about, like XFL?
No, WWE, like
no. I'm talking about I'm talking about how WWE, when they did the football thing, they didn't have no success with it, but they tried to start a football league. Is that the same concept?
No, not the same concept as the football league, because what they're saying is they want to get involved just in the promotion side have connections with like a guy like Bob Arum or a guy like Al Heyman or someone like that. Like they get connected with one of those guys, and they can actually get more a better, because it seems like Heyman and Arum are not really like they do well, but they don't consistently promote the fight, and sometimes people forget about it unless you guys continue to talk about the fight. Sometimes that's why you don't see a lot of people at the fights, because of the lack of consistent promotion. If you have WWE behind some of these promoters, the WWE can take the brunt of the promotion side, and they can do the other business portion, booking the fights and stuff, but WWE can take the promotion side of the brunt of the promotion and stuff like that. Sports heaven. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, because it seems like Heyman and Arum don't do well consistently promoting the fights. That's why you don't hear about the fights until the either the week of the fight, or 2 or 3 weeks before the fight, or a week before the fight, and stuff like that. Like, because there's not they don't have they don't put TV spots like they used to for these fights. You know what I'm talking about? Have you noticed with WWE, they during NFL football, they have TV spots on Fox or NBC or something like that, NBC Universal, advertising the shows for Friday and Monday and stuff like that. If they had that type of promotion behind them, boxing would get more eyes into the sport, more casual and more hardcore fans watching it again, with constantly being promoted during NFL football or on Sundays, or during college football on Saturdays.
Well, the thing is, brother, and that is that, wrestling, they capture the children. Like, all children, not all, but most children from generation to generation, like, love wrestling. So like, the
it's hard to compare sports, is what you're saying.
Even with my grandmother, like, she would buy me Attack Force, but like she would buy me WrestleMania, like, so it's like, they can actually sit up there and kind of compete a little bit with football and stuff like that. But like,
that's what I'm saying. If you add that promotion from WWE side, taking the brunt of the promotion for boxing, and they actually they let the promoters book the fights, and WWE do most of the promotion, it would actually help the sport of boxing get more eyes onto the sport. Do you, Sports Heaven and Jonathan and H, do you guys agree? If WWE came in and did the brunt of the promotion for these big promoters, and they just dealt with booking the fights, and WWE did all the promotion and stuff, it would actually help.
I agree.
How about you, H and Jonathan? What are your thoughts? And Warren?
I'm sorry, I just came back. What we talking about? I'm cooking some biddles.
Oh, what we were talking about is that apparently WWE is trying to get into the sport of boxing again. Like, they're trying to get connections, inroads to do most of the promotion for these big promoters, so they can just book the fights, and WWE can take the brunt of doing the heavy lifting for the promotion of the fight. Because it seems like these boxing promoters don't consistently promote their fights well. You don't find out find out about the fight till maybe a week or two before the fight actually is happening and stuff like that. You don't, unless it's a big fight. Rest of the.
So I got your point. So my opinion on it is that I believe that boxing has to start thinking outside the box. instead of thinking the old way of doing things. Because there is a large majority of casual fans who likes to be entertained. That really have you have to throw it, you have to put it in front of them enough for them to start to be interested in being serious about the boxing. But there's a big market out there with casual fans that's not being
You
really
can get more
that
kids
really
if WWE's Warren, and you might agree with this. If you get WWE involved, you can get more younger kids watching the sport again, like kids in their in like 8 or 9 years old. And stuff
right,
like that.
especially if you can like mix it up a little bit with some of the I and I think I said this on this platform. I believe that I mean the
MMA.
Yeah, MAA should have something that is like, or even a cage match that has a main event boxing and there's a wrestling cage match too, just to bring that audience along. It can't hurt nothing if the spearman
Oh,
falls.
I know, like doing like WWE booking a cage match or like a gimmick match, and then having the boxing match as the main event or something like that. Doing something like that, mixing it up.
Just what the NBA do. NBA has an all-star game, and with the all-star game, they got some singing, they got some concerts, they got some dunk contests, they got 3-point shooting. They got other things built around that event to make it a big event. And so I think that boxing can think outside the box a little bit and start adding some, maybe have a Jake Paul event on with a main event, and let's pay Jake Paul not to be wanting to be the main event.
You really think Jake is gonna take co-main event money instead of being the main event, though?
If you pay him right.
No, he ain't do that.
I mean, well, I mean, something. I mean, all I can say is, like you said, if WWE gets involved, they're gonna want to, put on a show with some of their stuff too.
Yeah, that would be a good cross promotion thing for boxing. If, let's say, Al Heyman and PBC partner up with WWE, they have a wrestling match, one of their title matches as the undercard on the undercard, and then the boxing title matches are the main event. You can actually cross pollinate, bring young wrestling fans back into the sport of boxing and stuff like that. So, H, what are your thoughts on what we're talking about? H, you there? No, but Warren, the issue with that, guys like Al Heyman and like Eddie Hearn and stuff like that, and Bob Arum are too old school. They're not going to allow that to happen. You guys agree, Heaven? Like, they're too stuck in the old way of thinking that I don't think they want to.
I agree.
New ideas like that.
No, I agree. I think you're making some great points, and I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I think once a newer generation, like the younger guy takes over as a head of Top Rank or what's it called, PBC, you're gonna see that mentality, the mentality change. But with these two guys ahead of those promotions, it's gonna be stuck in that 1950s, 60s, 70s way of promoting fights and stuff like that.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to be more.
BLK Prime has got what's her name?
Blue Blood.
No. I'm talking about the lady that's fighting. I can't. Cyborg.
Chris
Cyborg. Yeah, Christy Cyborg. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I don't want to be morbid. I think guys like Heyman and Bob Arum are gonna have to die out for the promotion, the mentality to change for these big time promotions and stuff like that. Oscar might be able to use social media because he's a little bit younger. He knows how to deal with social media and stuff, but I don't think Al Heyman and Bob Arum use social media correctly. Sports Heaven, have you noticed that?
First we had telephones that you had on the wall. If you had telephones that had a cord connected to it, and you had to stay there by the telephone in order to answer it. Technology and the evolution of technology and the way we do things and the way we socialize with things are going to force us, whether we like it or not, to change or stop using or get lost in the sauce. It's either you get left behind or you keep moving. So the time is going to come to pass where different things like these young guys now, these young guys that they have under them are promoting themselves. Pretty much. You got your Tank, you got your Devin Haney's. They on these different platforms. They come and talk their stuff. They thing on those Twitter and all of that. So they're already moving without permission from the Al Heymans and the Bob Arums, as long as it doesn't put no bad light on them, or affect you talk right. Prime example. AB haven't fought how long? It's been a long time since AB had a fight, right?
Like, I'm guessing 5 years, maybe, for AB.
Right. But yet he's still relevant because of his fan base and because of how he uses social media. He's very charismatic in the way he performs outside the ring. Now we could question what he do inside the ring all day, but people like casual fans, they love that kind of drama. They love it. They eat it up. They like that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think once you start seeing a newer way of thinking with these big time promotions, having a young guy take over who knows how to use social media correctly, because Bob Arum and Al Heyman are still stuck in the promoting their fights through the newspapers and stuff like that, and cable television. Not cable television, like new magazines and stuff like that. I don't think they know how to use social media correctly, or even putting promotional spots.
They don't use it for their personal self. They allow their fighters to go out there and they use their platform. So Al has Showtime, who Showtime is the ones that do the promotional in the back, and too much to a degree behind the scenes. Showtime is orchestrating the promotions too. So they got a team of people behind them that know how to do that. ESPN got a team of people behind them that know how to do that. If you're with Bob Arum, yeah, you're gonna be on the ESPN platform. ESPN takes a part of that, and that's what you're kind of paying them for. They get a percentage for the promotion. So it's in their best interest to promote the fight. So they do what's best and affordable for them to promote the fighter. And based on how popular the fighter is probably how much they'll invest in the fighter as far as the promotional side, you know. But
Yeah.
these boxers now are taking some of that creativity for themselves and just doing it on social media platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you know. You have content creators having them come on and talk their stuff. You know, H Money got a platform just the other day you had Devin Haney on there. You know, so it you know so uh, I believe it's definitely changing. I don't think Bob Aaron, Al Heyman is really worried about whether they get in touch with it because that's what they hire these big networks to do probably, and it's probably a part of the contract is that you have some responsibility towards the promotion, and it's in the network's interest to promote the fight because the more views they get and all that, the sales they get is bigger for their pocket. So
No,
they
no,
have
but
an
what
interest in
I'm
it.
saying, what I'm saying is, I don't know why ESPN doesn't promote some of these boxing pay-per-view matches during commercials for like the games on Saturday for college football during like a Clemson game or something like that. So you can get more if you do that, you get the football fans interested in
Because so they have a contract with the college level football, right?
Yeah.
And they have these contracts that's good for 10 years. Within that, they already have the slots already taken. And to get into that slot, you have to spend a whole bunch of money. And if you're not one of those fighters that they think is worth it, they're not going to pay for a slot like that. It's just like we did in newspaper, buy a slot in the newspaper, and the closer you get to the front, the more money you had to pay to get the slot. And the bigger the slot is, the more money you had to pay. So just look at it like that. But you thinking that they're friend to lose money out on the biggest thing, college football or college sports or football, basketball, and all of that, to make way for a boxing match. And depending on how popular the fighter is, I mean, you have to be a mega star, like a
like a
Mike
Canelo
Tyson,
or a Floyd or something like
like
that.
a Mike Tyson, like a Floyd or somebody. When Floyd was turning HBO upside down and Showtime and stuff like that.
In Oscar.
And yeah, yeah, but so
You don't you that's what I'm asking. You don't think a Canelo fight would actually uh help that though? Like if you promote the Canelo fight on 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 like on ESPN or something like that, you don't think him being a superstar in the sport would actually bring more eyes to the sport from college football is what I'm asking.
well, Canelo Alvarez is already established to me. He already got his
Or
fan
Devin
base that's on.
I
He
mistake
already
Devin.
got Devin is
Devin.
still growing. Devin is still growing his fan base.
Okay.
I mean, he got a fan base. I'm not don't get me wrong, but I think he's still growing his fan base. It could be bigger than what it is now. And I think you're gonna start to see a lot of growth come out. I think next year you're gonna see a big difference in the sport of boxing. I think next year you're gonna start to see a lot more because I'm starting to see it now. A lot of um, people who want to learn about the sport or enjoy the sport is starting to come and see what's going on. And I think the YouTube community has a lot to do with that. Anytime you got PBC and all these other networks looking at your channels, it's saying a lot.
So that's what I'm asking.
They see something there. They done did their math. They done did all the analytical stuff that they did, and they out here looking because they see there is a potential where they can make money. And whenever they take the time to do that, means that the community is having the YouTube boxing community is having a positive impact on the sport of boxing in a way that we're starting to reap the fruits of our labor now. And 3 years ago, we was wondering whether they was listening or not, but they listening.
And that's what I kind of like. That's what I kind of hope happens if WWE comes in and does promotion for boxing. You're going to start seeing younger fans like fans below 10 years old start to watch boxing again because they moved towards wrestling because boxing wasn't really consistently promoting to that age group and stuff like that, Warren. That's the issue. I think that's why they moved.
Boxing's been pay-per-view. It's all been pay-per-view. It used to be free. Basketball WEE is free until you get into your main events and stuff like that. But we used to be able to watch boxing on CBS and NBC, Fox, and all of that. We used to be able to watch it. Now we have to, and then the fight that they're putting on is garbage fights for a whole lot of money.
And actually, and this is why. And Warren, me and H were talking about this. I can't remember which promoter I said, but I think it was either Al or Bob that is getting a big time contract with Amazon Prime or Apple TV to put all their fights on Apple TV or Amazon Prime and stuff like that. I think Bob wants to extend his reach in streaming besides just using ESPN. He wants to go into like Amazon. I think it was Amazon Prime. Bob is trying to get a big time contract to have a little bit more reach and a little bit more people watch boxing on these streaming services.
Yeah, I think they need to try something, do something to get, because the casual fan is a lot bigger market than the strong diehard boxing fans. We have a nice little base, but it's more casuals than it is diehard boxing fans. And so those casual fans, they see the potential market. Now they're trying to figure out how they're going to tap into it. And I think by you even suggesting or saying what you're saying is something I've been saying for the last 3 or 4 months too in my head. We may need to mix it up a little bit. We may need to break away from that old model of seeing nothing but straight professional boxing. Yeah, we have maybe a couple professional good fights and mix it in there with some entertainment type stuff to draw them in. And once you draw them in and they start to like the sport, they'll be willing to learn more about it and want to embrace the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Learn about it, get and which is to me has a circle effect, because then they gonna want to get on some of these communities, these YouTube communities or whatever, and learn about boxing from people like H Money, Jonathan. New people start to come on and wanting to learn about it, and this is one of the ways they learn about it, by listening, going in the chat and listening to some of these platforms talk about boxing.
The thing about that too, a lot of the management in the sport of boxing, just promotional companies and stuff like that, they need to sit down with these networks like CBS and ABC and NBC, and the guys like Keyshawn Davis, a lot of these young and up and coming guys. When the veteran fighters are not scheduled to fight or making fights, we can see these other fights, and then they bring our balls back to the sport of boxing. So it's like, okay, he's the top guy, but I've been watching this guy. But these young guys shouldn't be fighting once a year. That's ridiculous. These young guys shouldn't be fighting once a year.
Yeah, no, and this is what worries me about Virgil too with Oscar. That's what Oscar does. He's only having his young guys fight, like Ryan or Jaime or him, fight once a year, and
I'll be back.
These guys should be fighting more consistently. When I look at guys like Virgil Ortiz, I look at Boots and stuff like that. These management and stuff like that. They need to figure out somewhere where we can make deals also with other networks to get these guys, keep these guys active, and keep eyeballs on the sport of boxing instead of these guys.
I think streaming is
these guys waiting to be on a premium channel network and stuff like that. These guys need to be fighting, man.
Yeah, and John, what also hurts is cable is starting to lose a lot of people that are moving toward most of these big cable companies like NBC and CBS and stuff like that. Yep. And even Fox and ABC are moving towards streaming. So eventually they're going to take their channel off television.
Yep.
That's what, and ESPN's already moved because ESPN is part of Disney. So I'm kind of surprised that Disney doesn't get involved in promoting some of these fights on ESPN a little bit more.
Yep. And these, like I said, these other networks also, these management, like you got Eddie Hearn, where Bob Arum top rankers with ESPN. So you can watch
Showtime and Fox is PBC.
You know what I'm saying? They premium channels. Sometimes people don't subscribe to that. A lot of people don't subscribe to Showtime or have HBO because they only can afford what they can afford. But when you got free TV and stuff like that, you be able to watch things more often than the regular. And that's how it was back in the day. Man, I was watching fights. They used to have a fight lined up on a certain network, and right after that they had golf or some other sport. We was able to see these guys fight. Sometimes I've seen championship level fights on NBC and ABC and CBS with the top guys in the world and stuff like that. It wasn't nobody.
Yeah, did they? I can't remember. Didn't they have the? I have a question. Didn't they have the Thriller in Manila on CBS or NBC?
I can't remember, but I know a lot of the Ray Leonards, the Hearns, the Haglers, and stuff like that. Their fights was on NBC and ABC before they crossed over to networks like HBO.
Yeah.
But like I said, if they want the sport to grow, a lot of these young fighters also got to be taken into account. These guys need to be fighting. There's no way somebody in their 20s should be fighting one time a year and possible two. No way. There's no way.
By the way, Danny, where's your evidence that Virgil has a glass jaw? Where is your evidence that Virgil has a glass jaw in terms of getting knocked out constantly? I haven't seen it, what you're talking about.
Who said Virgil had a glass jaw?
Danny the Great.
He said Robert Garcia had a glass jaw.
No, one of his comments before said that Virgil has a glass jaw.
Oh, okay.
Where's the evidence, though? Where's your proof and evidence that Virgil has a glass jaw? That Boots is gonna knock him out within 2 rounds if they fight.
He's undefeated, right?
Yeah. Both him and Virgil are undefeated. Virgil hasn't lost a fight. Yeah, no. Danny, a glass jaw is he doesn't get up. Virgil got up. That doesn't mean he has a glass jaw. A glass jaw, if he means, for me, when you say a fighter has a glass jaw, doesn't means that he doesn't get up from the punch. He got up from he has a strong jaw. He doesn't have a glass one. I don't know the evidence you're saying he got up from Mean Machine's punches. It's not. He didn't stay down. I'm trying not to get antagonized with Danny, but it's getting annoying already. So
I'm back.
So Jonathan, what is your opinion on what I was telling Warren that that apparently WWE is trying to connect with these big time promoters like PBC or Top Rank or
Think about it. Think about it, Anthony. What is the WWE connected with? They're connected with free TV.
Yeah, free television.
TNT, Fox. They're connected, so you can watch those events. You can watch those shows. They are connected with
USA Network.
TV. Yeah, USA Network. A lot of these management, they just hell bent on everything has to be premium and everything has to be pay-per-view. H Money hit me on to David Morrell. I heard of him. I never really actually seen him fight. First time I seen David Morrell fight, well, a couple of his fights was on free TV. I said, this guy gonna be a star. I didn't have to see him on a co-main event or on the card of a pay-per-view fight. I saw him on free TV. And it wasn't a premium channel fight neither. I saw him on free TV.
The issue with that too also is, well, I think that's what's gonna hurt a little bit too. That's streaming is gonna hurt free television, Jonathan. Once these big time channels like Fox and NBC move purely to streaming, you're not gonna see any of these you're gonna see more of these big time fights on streaming. They're gonna make the people pay for these streaming services like Paramount or USA
But
Network.
you're already doing that. You're already doing that. TV is not free. Free TV is not even free.
It's already moving. It's already moving towards that, but eventually it's going to be permanent. You're not going. All you're going to see eventually is just regular. What's it called? Regular syndicated shows on free television. You're not going to see any sports. You're not going to see baseball.
Again, you need cable to even get free TV, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're paying cable company to provide you with free TV. CBS already got an app. Fox already got an app. If you wanted to, you could go stream Fox. Not everybody watches the news.
Yeah.
Not everybody watches certain things. So they're more catering to people that like a la carte. Like I don't need Cinemax. I don't watch Cinemax. Why I'm gonna pay for Cinemax?
Nope.
No, but you understand what I'm saying, Warren. Though, but eventually
they're already doing that. They're already streaming. It's just that cable company is still a viable option. When it becomes where it's no longer making sense and making dollars for them, then they'll fully convert over to streaming. What you're gonna start paying your money on? Here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna run up your internet costs.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying. People are starting to move because DirecTV and cable is starting to get more expensive. People are already just streaming most of the shows on because cable. They cancel their cable. A lot of people are canceling cable and what is it called? Cable, DirecTV, and satellite because of the fact that it's getting too expensive. Cable is like $500 to $700 a month now.
Yeah, I know.
Warren.
I know. I'm experiencing something to that degree, but this is what they're gonna do. In order to stream, you're gonna have to have. So look at, and you probably already know this. So look at it like an expressway.
Yeah.
The more stuff you got, the more TVs you got open and doing using streaming, the more um, devices you got hooked up. So you got all these cars on on espresso. You ever been to New York? You ever been to New York?
Yeah, yeah.
You ever been
And
in New
I've
York
seen the
traffic?
horrible traffic in New York. Yeah.
Okay, so if you just buy small, what we call mega. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Megabytes per second. If you only buy 25 megabytes per second, and you got all of this stuff, you'll end up on a traffic jam. So what you're gonna end up doing is getting like 200 gigabytes of speed so that you can move
Or a
through the
terabyte.
traffic. So that you can stream and not have any hiccups, not have anything your your thing slowing up, or you getting glitchy and all of that. So you're gonna end up paying money for that. So you're gonna end up paying around $300 to $400 anyway.
Yeah, no, and
That's not even including the service you still have to pay for your apps that you have, depending on how many apps you have.
yeah, no, and let's not forget, like, I can't remember which. I think it's Comcast or Verizon. They're starting to
It's
offer
Xfinity.
a terabyte or 2 terabytes of
Yeah,
internet.
Xfinity. I have it.
Oh, you have the terabyte internet?
Yeah. I work from home. I watch it. All my TVs are Wi-Fi. You know, my boxes are Wi-Fi. Everything everything I do is evolved around the internet. I need the speed. I need to be able to get on and go to work without anything dragging or, you know, a traffic jam. I like fast. I want to be fast. I don't want to be slow. I want to be able to get to what I'm doing and perform at a high performance.
Are you guys surprised that PBC, you know how Eddie Hearn has the Zone as his streaming service? I know. Are you surprised PBC doesn't have a streaming service attached to them, where they can watch have their live fights on the streaming?
They're not. They outsource the management. So what they do is they go hook up with Showtime and Fox. Fox handles all of that. That's why they get the good cut of the money when after they get their money first. So that's Fox job. That's Showtime's job.
What is your guys' prediction on the last, like, when the pay-per-view model is finally going to die? Like that model of relying on pay-per-views for major dollars and stuff like that. When do you think that model finally dies?
It's not going to die. It's just going to be another way to get to something that you want. That's all. It's just going to be another way. Because if you look at it, ESPN on ESPN3 is an app that allows you to, and it's sort of it's a pay-per-view without them saying it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking. The traditional pay-per-view model, it's evolving, but the traditional pay-per-view model where you're gonna have to pay for television.
I don't know. You know.
Shit,
we have to wait.
What's your answer? Or H or Sports Heaven. Are you guys there? H, are you there?
I'm listening.
When do you think the traditional way of the traditional pay-per-view model is going to die out? Like not it's evolving, but the original pay-per-view model where you have to buy it through the cable companies or something like that. Cable or satellite companies.
My thing is this: when you get to the pay-per-view, a lot of these, like I say, these networks and the management, they're just trying to throw anything on pay-per-view, and a lot of it is not, in my opinion. I can't speak for everybody else. It's not pay-per-view worthy. And when you got a top-level fighter that's gone up against a French contender, and you put that on pay-per-view, I don't think that's good. And the number shows it. It's not good.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The amount of money that you're paying for a pay-per-view on cable or satellite is not worth the actual quality of the fight you're getting, is what you're saying.
Pay-per-view should be saved for top quality. When you get your mega, your super fights, that's what there should be. That's what pay-per-view should be there for. Not just throwing Tom, Dick, or Harry on there. No discredit to the fighters, but when you got high level fighters that's pretty much gonna be back in line to be a champion again, and then they matching them up with fringe contenders, and that's possibly gonna be their whole career is a fringe contender. You're putting them on a pay-per-view, and you expect us to buy that, you know?
Yeah, no, and this is why they're gouging the prices for fighters that don't deserve that price of money. They're overpricing certain pay-per-views when some of these fighters that are the main event specifically haven't earned the right to just yet
Yeah,
to
because
be.
the numbers short. When you got a fighter that's pretty much does well when it comes to premium TV or pay-per-view, the numbers is always pretty good, and then you match them up with, like I said, these friends contender, and you try to get that same success and put that match up on pay-per-view, and then the numbers is extremely low from all the other times this guy was doing outstanding numbers. I don't understand that business model. Maybe they understand it. I just don't understand that business model.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's about greed, is what it is. They're trying to rip fans off by putting those type of fights in the pay-per-view, Jonathan. That's what it is. They care more about their pocketbooks than putting quality fights on the pay-per-view. On pay-per-view.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like to call out names, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes for the long-term benefit, you got to see what you got to see and do what you got to do. Deontay Wilder and Keith Thurman was coming back off of layoffs. They are outstanding fighters and stuff like that. But those fights they was in, to my opinion, wasn't pay-per-view worthy.
Would you consider when you heard about the Keith Thurman versus Barrios fight?
And when I heard it was going to be on Fox pay-per-view, I said, why? Keith Thurman is coming off a layoff. Mario Barrios just got knocked out by Tank Davis, and his next fight is a pay-per-view, another pay-per-view. I'm not with a guy who hadn't been in the ring in a while. I don't understand that process. That doesn't make sense to me. The same thing.
You think that would have been better a co-main event?
Yes, a co-main event and stuff like that. Just a regular TV network fight. You know, it didn't have to be pay-per-view. I can understand when he fought Tank. He was a world champion at the weight class. Tank is a pay-per-view guy. He's a draw. They fought. He lost. And he came off a devastating knockout. And his next fight is another pay-per-view? No. I don't understand that process. It doesn't make sense to me.
I could understand. For me, I could understand an Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder being a main event and stuff like that, because Deontay's a big time fighter, like a popular fighter and stuff like that. But having
his first fight with Tyson Fury probably was one of the greatest fights in the heavyweight division you're gonna see in a long time, and possibly one of his best fights that he's been in his career. And that fight wasn't pay-per-view. Not the first one. That wasn't
the first fight. Wasn't on pay-per-view?
No. The other two was. That first one wasn't. It was on regular Showtime. And that fight was a build. That fight was a build up. Was a way better fight than than a Keith Thurman and Barrios that was on pay-per-view. That's why I don't understand. Tyson Fury was making his comeback. He had a couple of fights under his belt. Deontay Wilder was making another title defense of his WBC title. Possibly the top heavyweight. He was the top heavyweight in the world at the time, one of the top fighters in the world. And that fight wasn't pay-per-view. His fights with Luis Ortiz wasn't pay-per-view. And that was outstanding fights. Those fights wasn't pay-per-view. That's why I don't understand the model. And you got a guy that's coming off almost a 2-year layoff, and his first fight back is a pay-per-view fight. I don't understand that. It just don't make sense to me. And it don't.
Like I said, it's all Jonathan.
And it doesn't do well. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do well. Everybody can see that fight is not going to do well, and it didn't do it. That Thurman Barrios fight didn't even do 100,000 buys.
Yeah, no, and like I said, these promoters care more about lining their pocketbooks instead of putting on, worrying about putting on a quality superstar level fight as the main event for a pay-per-view instead of putting these mid-level fight. I'm not saying Keith Thurman is not a good fighter. He's a mid-level fighter now at this point of his career. He's not a superstar like he used to be and stuff like that.
I just saw two Devin Haney undisputed fights, and I didn't have to pay for them pay-per-view. You know, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about that. I've seen two fights with Devin Haney in an undisputed situation, and I didn't have to pay for them pay-per-view. Don't make sense. Then you have a lot of people thinking that we shitting on the fighters. No, we're not shitting on the fighters. Hey, if you're gonna make it and allow us to get this, well, I'm gonna take it. I'm not shitting on them. I'm not.
You're shitting on the promoters.
Yes, the management, networks and stuff. That's not a pay-per-view fight. You want us to pay for stuff of one. We don't want it anyway, but we're gonna accept it because we fans of the sport, and we still eager and interested because who knows, that might be one of the best fights in a long time. But if you got an educated eye and some kind of common sense, 9 times out of 10 that fight is gonna be a mismatch, and it's not gonna be a draw, and it's not gonna fail.
What was the total buys for the Thurman Barrios fight? Was it like 95,000 or something?
I don't know how well. I know it didn't. I don't know. I know it didn't do.
H, you there? Yeah, no, yeah, but when you notice some of these fights have low pay-per-view buys that proves that it's not the fighter's fault. It's more the management not caring about the pay-per-view buys. To me, being so low like that for Barrios, it's more about the promotion company not promoting the fight well and stuff like that. Also, do you agree, Jonathan?
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you're not promoting the fight well, how many even though you know the fans don't want the fight, you don't know as fans we need to stop assuming the fight is going to be trash. It might be an entertaining fight and a good fight, but I agree it's not supposed to be a main event of a pay-per-view. Maybe a or an undercard fight. But Keith was so used to being a main event fighter. You really think he would be okay becoming a co-main event, though, Jonathan?
The thing about that, Anthony, his first pay-per-view was with a legend like Manny Pacquiao. Prior to that, none of his fights was pay-per-view. And his first fight off a layoff with a guy who just coming off a knockout loss, and you're going to put him on pay-per-view. So I'm trying to understand that philosophy. The only reason these two guys got pay-per-view fights because the opponents they was lined up with. Thurman was lined up with Pacquiao. Barrios was lined up with Tank. who's a star and who's a draw. But other than that, these guys never did a pay-per-view. And then Keith Thurman fight back off all them long layoffs. You're gonna give him a pay-per-view fight with a guy who just coming off a loss? I don't understand that.
No, I'm talking specifically a prime Keith Thurman before Manny, like when he was dominating. Where did he sell out?
Yeah, back in the day when he was healthier, when he was a unified champion and stuff like that. Yeah, back then. I'm talking about now. All the layoffs and the injuries, caught up with him and stuff like that. And like I said, my thing is his first fight back off all that downtime shouldn't have been a pay-per-view. But I'm not in that position. I guess they seen something that we don't see or I don't see. They're the ones in the business. We just the fans. But I just feel like we just as important because it's because of us that these guys and everybody's allowed to make money.
Was there a huge pay-per-view buy for Charlo the two fights with Castano with Charlo?
It was never pay-per-view. In both those fights, I'd have paid undisputed, both those two champions, I'd have paid a pay-per-view fight over Barrios and Thurman. I'd have paid for that. Undisputed fight, two champions, two top guys in the weight class. Yeah, I'd have paid for a fight like that, but not no Thurman Barrios. And not even Wilder Helenius. No.
So wait, so that fight was on free television?
That fight was on regular Showtime. Both fights.
Both Castano and Charlo fights were on Showtime?
The first fight and the rematch was on regular Showtime.
Wow. So it was on show
It was on Showtime. Both fights.
Wow.
And that was two good fights, two outstanding fights that I'd have paid for. You're looking at two of the best at the time in the weight class, two undefeated champions. You had a unified champion, Jermell Charlo, and you had a champion, matter of fact, a two-time champion in the weight class in Brian Castano. Because he had won two different versions of the title at 154. So that's a legit fight, and that wasn't on pay-per-view.
Did those two fights bring the free fights that Charlo and Castano did on Showtime? Did that bring a lot of eyes to just regular Showtime? How many views were on the streaming service and regular Showtime on the television? Do you remember?
I know they also make money off the viewerships. A lot of these fights that we think should be pay-per-view fights, they make a lot of the money off of viewerships also. A lot of them guys might do better on the viewership than they would do on the pay-per-view buys.
And don't forget more subscriptions to Showtime, the Showtime app too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So Jonathan, do you remember at the end of the fight, did they ever announce what the viewership for both fights were for Castano and Charlo?
I just wait till like a month or two, and then I go and pull up what both guys made for the fight, their purses, and it shows the viewerships, like how many viewership they did on the night of the fight. Now, I don't know what the viewerships is compared to a fight that would be pay-per-view buys. I don't know, but a lot of those fights did well on the viewership.
So you think that was a calculated move for Showtime and PBC, Showtime, PBC, and Fox, that they didn't put they put that fight on. They assumed the fight wasn't going to get a ton of pay-per-view buys, even though it was a unified and undisputed fight for the super welterweight championship and stuff like that. That was a calculated move that they put it on free television because they felt that the the fight was gonna get more viewership on free television than it was gonna get on a pay-per-view?
I just think certain promotional companies and stuff like that, it just gonna take care of certain fighters as opposed to what they're gonna do with other fighters. I just think that's the MO. I'm gonna make sure that this fighter is taken care of more so than this fighter. Like I said, Jamal Cholo has been an active fighter. He has been a consistent fighter. He has been a champion for a long time and stuff like that. You know, he's an entertaining fighter to watch and stuff like that. You know, I'd pay for him. I'd watch him on pay-per-view as opposed to a guy that's been out the ring for a while. It's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, maybe the promotion, the network,
I'm not sure if
they see from another viewpoint from us. Maybe I'm just looking at it just from the fan perspective. They're looking at it as a business and another perspective. Like I said, I don't know.
I'm not sure if this is just Khan exaggerating, but Keith Thurman has only had one fight in 3 years. Is that him telling? Is that true?
You know, like I say, some promotional companies, they get so attached to fighters, and they don't want to look at the realization. You was at one time you was one of the top guys in this sport. You was one of the best guys in the world, but that time done passed. But they still trying to build this fighter up like he's the same fighter from 5 or 6 years ago, and that's not the case.